أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الكريم وعلى آله وأصحابه من سن بسم الدين أما بعد ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي اللهم أرنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وأرنا الباطل باطلا واجتنابه اللهم إنا نسألك خير ما سألك عبدك ورسولك نبيك محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم اللهم إنا نعوذ بك من شر ما استعاذ بك عبدك ورسولك نبيك محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. Welcome, my dear brothers and sisters in Islam. Once again, we continue in our daily Quran journey class. Yesterday, we finished with Surah Yunus. We completed with Surah Yunus yesterday. Inshallah, today we will continue with Surah Hud and some part of Surah Yusuf, as this is juz number 12. Now we are entering juz number 12. We finished juz number 11 yesterday. Surah Hud, as you can tell from the name of it, it's named after Prophet Hud alayhi salam, who was sent to the people of Ad. And this is a Makki surah, and there's about 123 verses in this surah. And being a Makki surah, it was revealed in Mecca to Rasul Sallam, again addressing the kuffar of Mecca. Most of the ayat here talk about Allah's wahdaniyah, Tawheed rububiyyah, Tawheed uluhiyyah, and Tawheed al-Asma' Sifat, the monotheism of Allah in His lordship, in His features and characteristics, and also in His worship, because the Meccans were heavily in idol worship and doing shirk. Ayah number 1, we start off, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Alif Lam Ra, كتاب أحكمت آياته ثم فصل من لدن حكيم خبير. That Alif Lam Ra, the broken letters, Huruf Muqatta'at, nobody knows its meaning except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is a book whose verses are perfected and presented in detail for the one who's wise and acquainted. Number 2, Allah ta'budu illa Allah innani lakum minhu nadhirun bashir, that do not worship anyone except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, addressing the Quraysh, the mushrikeen of Mecca. Indeed, I am to you from him a warner and a bringer of good tidings. Number 3, وَنَسْتَغْفِرُوا رَبَّكُمْ ثُمَّ تُوبُوا إِلَيْهِ يُمَتِّعْكُم مَتَاعًا حَسَنًا إِلَى أَجَلٍ مُّسَمًّى وَيُؤْتِ كُلَّ ذِي فَضْلٍ فَضْلَهُ وَإِن تَوَلَّوْا فَإِنِّي أَخَافُ عَلَيْكُمْ عَذَابَ يَوْمٍ كَبِيرٍ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala again saying that, and seek forgiveness from your Lord and repent to Him. He will let you enjoy a good provision for a specified time in this world and give every doer of favor his favor. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala but it is warning that if you turn away, then indeed I fear for you the punishment of a great day, the day of judgment. Verse number 4, إِلَى اللَّهِ مَرْجِعُكُمْ, to Allah is your return, وَهُوَ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدِيرٌ, and He is able and competent and capable over all things. He can do anything. Number 5, أَلَا إِنَّهُمْ يَثْنُونَ صُدُورَهُمْ لِيَسْتَخْفُوا مِنْهُ أَلَا حِينَ يَسْتَغْشَوْنَ ثِيَابَهُ يَعْلَمُ مَا يَسِرُّونَ وَمَا يُعْلِنُونَ إِنَّهُ عَلِيمٌ بِذَاتِ الصُّدُورِ. Indeed, the disbelievers, they try to turn away from, they turn away their chest. Sudur is the plural of sadr, the chest. Yathnuna means that they go like this, so they would, this ayah was revealed because the mushrikeen of Mecca would do a kind of insult to Rasulullah by turning their faces away from him whenever they would face him in the streets and alleys. And they would try to hide themselves with their clothes, and that's what Allah was saying. They cover themselves. Yastaghshawna. Ghashiya means to cover. Thiyabahum. And they whatever clothes they had, they would just, because they just want to avoid him. It was a kind of ostracization, a kind of insult, humiliation they wanted to do to Rasulullah, and that's what Allah is referring to. That they try to hide away from him because they don't want to face the truth, and they don't want to face Rasulullah because he will again tell them to come towards Allah, Tawheed, oneness. And this is a kind of disrespect that they were trying to do. And Allah subhanahu says, Allah knows what they're hiding. Yusirruna, sir, as I said many times in the Quran, refers to secrecy and secret, whatever they're hiding. And yu'linun, i'lan means whatever they are informing. Wa alaikum salam, brother Mubin. Wa alaikum salam, brother Khurshid, mashallah. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is informing them that, look, Allah knows everything that you hide, that you try to expose. Innahu alim bizat sudur, He is well aware of what is in your hearts. Number 6, وَمَا مِن دَابَّةٍ فِي الْأَرْضِ إِلَّا عَلَى اللَّهِ رِزْقُهَا وَيَعْلَمُ مُسْتَقَرَّهَا وَمُسْتَوْدَعَهَا. And there's not a single creature on this earth or with whose risk is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Meaning this ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling the Quraysh of Mecca that, what are you thinking about? Your food, your risk is coming from Allah. And Allah is saying, not only you, but every animal, every creation, even the insects, even the germs, whatever it may be. Remember, germs grow, viruses, bacteria, they grow. They're also getting food in a way. Allah is giving them risk. That is how they're multiplying and growing. So the word dabba literally means a creature or like an animal, but here it refers to all the creations of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَمَا مِن دَابَّةٍ فِي الْأَرْضِ إِلَّا عَلَى اللَّهِ رِزْقُهَا. There's not a single creation on this earth except that with Allah is their rizq. وَيَعْلَمُ مُسْتَقَرَّهَا مُسْتَوْدَعَهَا. And Allah knows the place where the creation lives, and where they start. Mustawda is from, wada, meaning that wherever they die, the ending place Allah knows, and with the beginning place also Allah knows, whether a chick is coming out of an egg, or whether a bird is coming out of an egg, or wherever anything is beginning and ending, Allah knows well aware. Kullun fi kitab mubin. Everything is in a clear book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Number 7. وهو الذي خلق السماوات والأرض في 6 أيام وكان عرشه على الماء. Again, similar ayah has been repeated many times before. Allah is saying that He created the heavens and the earth in 6 days. And here Allah says, then His arsh, His throne is on the water. لِيَبْلُوكُمْ أَيُّكُمْ أَحْسَنُ عَمَلًا. That He may test each one of you who does the righteous good deeds. وَلَئِنْ قُلْتَ إِنَّكُمْ مَبْعُوثُونَ مِنْ بَعْدِ الْمَوْتِ. And if you were to say to them that, you will be resurrected, you will be raised up alive from your death, after your death, لَيَقُولَنَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا. Verily the people who disbelieve, they will say, surely هَذَا إِلَّا سَحْرٌ مُبِينٌ. That this is a plain, magic and sorcery. Because, again, remember we said that in the Makki ayats, Allah tackles 3 fundamental issues, and that is Tawheed, the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Number 2, Risala, the messenger, Rasul, and Akhirah, life after death. The Quraysh, the Mushrikeen of Mecca, did not believe in life after death. They just believe that we die here and that's it, the end. Nothing else is going to happen, nothing in the future. So time and again, Allah reminds that. And here in this ayah, Allah is saying that if you, Muhammad sallam, told them that you'll be raised up alive after you die and go in the grave, they will surely say that, this is magic and sorcery. This is unheard of. This is not possible. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is reminding them, yes. And the reason of their corruption, in fact, in this ayah is a hidden message, wisdom, that the reason of the corruption of the Quraysh was that they did not believe. Wa alaikum salam, Brother Yasin, welcome. Wa alaikum salam, Brother Muhammad Harun, welcome. The reason here the Quraysh, the Meccans, were so corrupt and they were doing all kinds of sins is because they did not believe in Akhirah. They did not believe in a day of judgment. Remember, I told you, brothers and sisters, many times in these classes that what does the concept of Akhirah bring in us? What does the concept of Qiyamah bring in us? It brings a deterrence. It deters us from any kind of mischief, because we know and we realize that Allah is going to ask me a question. So that thing is in the back of the mind. Everything we do, we ask that, oh, Allah is going to ask me, so I better be ready for that. So this feeling of Akhirah is a self-policing force. You self-police yourself. You don't need someone to come and police you. You police yourself, saying that, no, I need to be good. I need to be on the right path. I need to check my actions, because Allah is going to ask me. Allah is going to raise me alive. He's going to ask me a question. So I better be ready. Jannah and Jahannam is far away. Before that, the first step is asking question. Allah is going to ask question. So if I'm not ready for the question that Allah is going to ask me, then what to do after that? Number 9, وَلَئِنْ أَذَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ مِنَّا رَحْمَةً ثُمَّ نَزَعْنَاهَا مِنْهُ إِنَّهُ لَيَئُوسٌ كَفُورٌ. And when we give insan, أَذَقْنَا, ذُقْ and ذَائِقَ, this word is used many times in the Quran. It means taste. So Allah is sometimes uses this word in a metaphoric expression that you will taste the azab of Jahannam, you will taste the punishment, you will taste that, you will taste death. This word is used many times. Here Allah is saying you will taste the mercy from Allah. وَلَئِنْ أَذَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ مِنَّا رَحْمَةً. And when we give any insan, Muslim or kafir, when we give any insan a taste of the mercy of Allah, ثُمَّ نَزَعْنَاهَا مِنْهُ, and then we withhold the mercy back from that person who tasted it. As soon as we remove the mercy, Allah is saying, إِنَّهُ لَا يَئُوسٌ كَفُورٌ. Immediately the insan become yayas. Yayas means despair, dejected, give up, just totally give up on life and everything. And kafur, rejecting. So the person becomes depressing, despair, despising, and rejecting the moment Allah withholds His rahmah. But when the person is getting the rahmah, then it's all merry, all very good. So Allah is saying He can withdraw His mercy anytime He wants. He can bless us with His mercy, and that's why we keep making dua as Muslims. We keep saying, Allahumma irham alayna. Oh Allah, don't remove Your mercy from us. Oh Allah, continue to have mercy on us. We cannot survive a single day, forget a day, a single hour without the mercy of Allah. Yes, my dear brothers and sisters in Islam, we need Allah's mercy every second, every minute. We cannot survive a single minute on this earth without the mercy of Allah. And Allah is saying, we are the one who make you taste and feel and sense the mercy, and we are the one who withdraw it. When does Allah withdraw His mercy? When He's upset with us, when we do a sin, when we do a mistake, He removes His mercy. Suddenly, all around the year, you're not getting sick. But the moment Allah withdraws His mercy, suddenly you start getting sick. And when you start getting sick, you start cursing, you start whining and groaning, but you don't realize that all those months and weeks and hours and days where I was totally healthy, not a single pain, not a single sickness or disease, I was never thankful. So Allah removed the mercy because of my ingratefulness, ungrateful, non-thankfulness. Number 10, وَلَئِنْ أَذَقْنَاهُ نَعْمَاءً بَعْدَ ضَرَّاءٍ مَسَّتْهُ لَيَقُولَنَّ ذَهَبَ السَّيِّئَاتُ عَنِّي إِنَّهُ لَفَرِحٌ فَخُورٌ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala again referring to the Quraysh of Mecca. The previous ayah was that, look, when they are happy and rejoicing the mercy of Allah, they don't think about anything. And the moment Allah withdraws His mercy, they start becoming despairing and rejecting and dejected and rejecting. And now in this ayah, Allah said that we make them taste our blessings, our favors. Na'ma is the plural of ni'ma. Ni'ma is a bounty, a blessing. It could be anything. Could be money, could be property, could be any belongings, it could be health, it could be just even eyesight. Anything is a bounty and blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah is saying, when we make them taste the blessings and bounties, ba'da dharra, after hardship has affected them. Masatu, massa yamassu means touch. It literally means months, means touch. So when hardship, affliction touches them, and then after that Allah makes them taste the ni'mah, the bounty, they say, لَيَقُولَنَّ, they, the kuffar, the mushrikeen of Mecca, they say, ذَهَبَتْ السَّيِّئَاتُ عَنِّي. The bad times are gone. All right, we are good, we're now good, everything is good. إِنَّهُ لَفَرِحٌ غَفُورٌ, that indeed they are very, very happy, rejoicing, but they are very boastful and arrogant. Fakhur, from fakhr. Fakhr means that arrogance, pride. That, oh, look, bad times are gone, we are the good people. See, told you so, we were good people, good things there. But Allah is saying, subhanallah, they don't realize this is a temporary respite, that Allah is testing them. This is bala from Allah. When Allah gives ni'mah after hardship, He's testing that, does this person thank Allah? Do they return to Allah? But the kuffar of Quraysh of Mecca did not realize this, and that's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning here, that how naive and aloof they are. 11, إِلَّا الَّذِينَ صَبَرُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ, except those people who are patient and do righteous good deeds. أُولَٰئِكَ لَهُمْ مَغْفِرَةٌ وَأَجْرٌ كَرِيمٌ. For all those people there is forgiveness and a great reward. Number 12, فَلَعَلَّكَ تَارِكٌ بَعْدَ مَا يُوحَى إِلَيْكَ وَضَائِقٌ بِهِ صَدْرُكَ أَنْ يَقُولُوا لَوْلَا أُنزِلَ عَلَيْهِ كَنْزٌ وَجَاءَ مَعَهُ الْمَلَكُ إِنَّمَا أَنْتَ نَذِيرٌ وَاللَّهُ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ وَكِيلٌ. What they used to say to Rasulullah is, why, this ayah was revealed in reply to one of the incident. A Badu Arabi, a person from Mecca, the Quraysh, the Mushrik, came to Rasulullah that, oh Muhammad, they used to address Rasulullah like this, oh Muhammad, Ya Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in a very derogatory way. They would say, Ya Muhammad, ij'al lana hadhihi al-jibal dhahaban. Oh Allah, oh Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, make these mountains of Mecca turn them all the mountain into gold, make them a mountain of gold, we will believe you are a prophet. Or bring a messenger as a prophet, bring a messenger as a proof to say that you are a prophet, we will believe in you. So one of two things they said: either you make this mountain full of gold, or you bring us a angel who testifies you're a prophet, we will believe. So we'll believe you're a prophet if the mountain becomes gold, or we'll believe you're a prophet if an angel comes down. So Allah is referring to that over here. فَلَعَلَّكَ تَارِكٌ بَعْدَ مَا يُوحَى. Tariq, taraka means leave. Perhaps they want to leave you after what it has been revealed to you from the message, meaning the message of Quran has come to you. وَضَائِقٌ بِهِ صَدْرُكَ. And what they do to you, it hurts your heart, it hurts what is in your chest, makes you feel grieving. Because of what they say, and يقولوا لولا أنزل عليه كنز, because they say that I wish we, some kanz. Kanz means treasure. So this is what they're referring to, that the mountain of Mecca become full of gold. أو جاء معه ملائك أو ملك, or an angel comes to you, then tell them, O Rasul, إنما أنت نذير. Tell them you are just a warner, نذير. Indhar, nazar means to warn. Wallahu ala kulli shayin wakil, and Allah is the disposer of everything. Allah is well aware of everything. He has everything under control, master. 13, Am yaqulun aftara, or do they say that he invented a lie, meaning about Rasulullah, that he's making a lie, this Quran is not true. قُلْ فَأْتُوا بِعَشْرِ سُوَرٍ مِثْلِهِ مُفْتَرَيَاتٍ. If Allah SWT is now giving them challenge. Remember we said that in Surah Baqarah, Allah gave the challenge, bring a whole Quran like that. Then in the previous surah, the Surah Yunus we covered yesterday, Allah said bring even a surah like this. So basically the first stage was bring a whole Quran. You can't do that, bring 10 surahs, which is mentioned here in Surah Hud. If you can't even do 10 surahs, then bring one surah, which is mentioned in Surah Yunus we covered yesterday. So but tadrij, gradually Allah lowered the challenge. First the full challenge, bring a whole Quran. Can't do that? All right, let's lower the challenge, bring just 10 surahs like this, similar to the Quran. Can't do that? Okay, we'll bring it lower down to very basic. Bring just one surah. And a surah does not mean like a Surah Baqarah. You can bring like Surah Kawthar, just 3 ayats. Or Quraysh of Mecca or Mushrikeen. You just bring 3 ayats like Surah Kawthar. It's a surah. I will accept it as Allah that you beat me and beat the challenge. But they couldn't do that. And they still cannot do that. Till this day, the Arabs know very well. Till this day, there are many Christian Arabs who are trying day and night. There's a group of people in Egypt and in Syria. I forget their name. You can Google it. There's a group of people who are Christian Arabs in Egypt and Christian Arabs in Syria and also in Jordan, some Christian Arabs who are day and night. Even there are a group of Christians in Israel who are every day, every night, till now, even now, every day, every night, they are trying their best to make it something similar to the Quran. They have not given up, but they're trying and they're failing. They cannot. ما هذا من كلام بشر. Allah is saying this is not. That's what Allah says. بِعَشْرِ سُوَرٍ مِثْلِهِ. Bring 10 surahs like it. Muftarayat, invented by you. وَدْعُوا مَنِ اسْتَطَعْتُمْ. Not only that you invent, but وَدْعُوا مَنِ اسْتَطَعْتُمْ. Allah is saying, I give you freedom, I give you free liberty. Call whoever you want to call to assist you, to help you, besides Allah, if you really are truthful. Meaning you want to get help, you want to get a lifeline, you want to get a call from someone that, hey guys, we got the biggest challenge of our lifetime. We need to make a duplicate Quran. We need to make it a different Quran. They could not. And even here in America, in Washington, D.C., a few years back, I think about 9 years back, some organization in Washington, D.C. produced a Quran calling it Al-Furqan. I remember seeing that about 7-8 years ago. Somebody showed me a copy of it. And in that, they called it Al-Furqan, make you think like it's a Quran. But what I read in that, like in Surah Tawbah, in Surah Nisa, there are some ayats missing. The ayats of Qital, ayats of Jihad, they have totally taken out from there. Throughout the whole Quran, wherever Allah talks about fighting or killing, it's all gone. Rest of the Quran is still the same. So they say this is Furqan, this is the new Quran. You guys need to read this new Quran, Furqan. Beware of it, brothers and sisters, especially kids, youngsters. Beware of it. Don't take it. It might be available in some library or somewhere. Don't pick up and read the Quran. It is not the Quran. It's a game with the Quran. They have removed the ayats of all ayats about fighting and qital in it and presenting it as Quran. It is not the Quran. It is a lie. Remember, it's called Al-Furqan. You can Google it. You find out where it is. But don't Google it, because then you don't want to read it. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Alaikum assalam to our other brother Zamir from Florida. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala then tells us in verse 14, فَإِن لَمْ يَسْتَجِيبُوا لَكُمْ فَاعْلَمُوا أَنَّمَا أُنزِلَ بِعِلْمِ اللَّهِ وَأَنْ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا هُ فَهَلْ أَنْتُمْ مُسْلِمُونَ. And if they do not respond to you with this challenge of making a Quran, then know that the Quran was revealed with the knowledge of Allah, and there's no deity except Allah. Then will you not become Muslims? I mean, if you cannot fulfill this challenge of making a duplicate Quran, why don't you submit and surrender to Allah? Become the Muslim, become a submitter. 15. من كان يريد الحياة الدنيا وزينتها نوفي إليه أعمالهم فيها وهم فيها لا يبخسون. Whoever desires the dunya, hayat dunya, and its glitter and glamour, zinata. Remember I told you the word zina means the pomp, the glitter, the attraction, the beauty of anything. So Allah is saying, whoever wishes dunya and the pleasures of this dunya, the pomp and glitter of this dunya, nuwaffi ilayhi, we will give them the dunya. Whoever wants dunya, Allah is saying, this is the biggest ayah and proof that this dunya has no worth in front of Allah. If this dunya was valuable, just think for this 1 second. Just 1 second, think about this, brothers and sisters. If this dunya was valuable in front of Allah, would He give this dunya to any kafir, to any atheist, agnostic, to any non-believer? If the dunya was valuable, no. And that's what Allah is saying in this ayah. You want the dunya? Take the dunya. This dunya is nothing. It's a piece of trash, rubbish. Literally speaking, it's worse than rubbish. This dunya is worse than rubbish. Yes, in spite of all the beauty and glory we see in this dunya, people go to Bahamas, Cancun, Switzerland, Netherlands, and say, oh, look at that, beautiful. Yeah, the dunya may look beautiful, but in front of Allah, this dunya is worse than trash. According to the hadith of Rasulullah, Rasulullah said, in a very beautiful, authentic hadith, he said that this dunya, let's listen to this, brothers and sisters, in the hadith. He said, if this dunya was equal, even if it was equal, meaning it is not equal, even it was equal to the janah ba'udha, equal to the one wing of a fly. One wing. Now look at a fly. The house flies we see that go zzz. Just look at the fly, how small the wing is. Not two wings. Allah says one wing. Rasulullah is saying one wing. Rasulullah is saying, if this dunya was, a big if it was equal to one small wing of a fly, Allah would not have given the kuffar, the non-believers, anything from the dunya. Anything. They would starve to death, so to speak. If it was equal to the wing of a fly. Wing of a fly. Yani the wing of a fly is better than a dunya wa samawat wal ard wa kulluha. Oh my God. Can you imagine that? My dear brother and sister in Islam, think about it. We are chasing dunya. I'm no different. I'm worse than all of you. I'm part of you. Nobody is an angel. We're all human beings. Each one of us is chasing dunya, dollar, pound, real, dirham, dinar. And Allah says through Prophet Muhammad, this dunya is not even equal to the wing, jinah ba'udha, the wing of a fly. If it was equal to that wing of fly, He would have given the kuffar so much. And here Allah says in this ayah, من كان يريد الحياة الدنيا وزينتها نوفى إليهم أعمالهم. We will make their a'mal fulfilling in that, pleasureful, attractive. نوفى إليهم أعمالهم means that they will begin to do things, a'mal, in their life which satisfies their thirst and desire of fulfilling dunya. They want dunya. They're like greedy, like water dripping out of their tongue, their mouth. Dunya, dunya, dunya. And Allah says, I will make them do things that they'll just keep on doing dunya. And they will forget the akhirah. They'll forget Islam and deen and everything. Because they are so busy in this dunya. Allah. This ayah needs to sink in. That's the reason we're doing this every day, 4 to 6, word by word, ayah by ayah. That, Ya Allah, that's why Rasulullah used to make dua. وَلَا تَجْعَلَ الدُّنْيَا أَكْبَرَ هَمِّنَا وَلَمَا بَلَغَ عِلْمِنَا. Oh my God, subhanAllah. I can't tell you the beauty of this dua Rasulullah used to make. Every day he made this dua. That, oh Allah, Don't make the dunya the biggest hum. Hum in Arabic means my concern. When you wake up in the morning, you pick up what are my to-do list, what I have to do today. Dunya should not be the biggest thing on that list. It shouldn't, in fact, it should not even be on the list. Allah says, you come to akhirah, you prepare for akhirah, I'll give you dunya automatically. Dunya is part of the package deal. But if we chase the dunya, if we make dunya our biggest concern, our biggest objective of life, mission of life, and that's what Rasul is saying, that وَلَا تَجْعَلَ الدُّنْيَا أَكْبَرَ هَمِّنَا وَلَا مَا بَلَغَ إِلْمِنَا. Do not make the dunya the biggest desire, biggest concern, biggest motivation or motive or goal for us, or not what has been in our ilm, meaning even if it's hidden, if the dunya is hidden in our ilm, then keep it hiding. Don't open dunya. Subhanallah, it reminds me, this ayah has struck a chord right now, so a lot of things is coming to my mind. This ayah reminds me of Umar ibn Khattab, radiallahu anhu, when he was the Khalifa. 10 years he was Khalifa. He was known as the golden era of the Khilafah, the Fursa Dhahabiyya, the golden era of the Khilafah came in the Khilafah of Umar ibn Khattab, when a lot of developments, a lot of things played. The whole infrastructure and framework was done. And subhanallah, we read this in the books of history, in the Khilafah of Umar ibn Khattab, we read that the Quraysh, the Sahabi, especially the Qurayshi Sahaba would come to Umar ibn Khattab and say, please give us a permission to hijrah, to migrate, to go. And he would say, what, for permanently or temporary, you want to go there and teach someone Islam or something? He said, no, we want to move out of Makkah, Medina, want to move out of this area and go. He said, no, I cannot let the Sahaba of Rasulullah migrate from Makkah and Medina. And they were asking, why? He says, I don't want the dunya to open on you. If you travel from this area, here you have the Rawda of Rasulullah, here you have the Kaaba. We've been the Ashab of Rasulullah, we've been with Rasulullah. Now he's not with us, but his Rawda Sharifa is there. We remain focused, we remain focused on Akhirah. We save ourselves, immunize ourselves from the fitna of the dunya, from the attraction and glitter and glamour of dunya. I fear that if the dunya opens up on the ashab of Rasulullah, and if I allow them, then corruption will prevail, fasad will happen. This is about Sahaba he's talking about, not an average Muslim like me and you. He says dunya is so dangerous, it's so treacherous, this dunya is so lethal and devastating. Ask Brother Zamir Hassan, who's in Florida right now, how beautiful dunya is. Everybody out there naked in this hot weather on the beaches trying to. This is what it is. Dunya is so treacherous that it can suck you in. It's like a quicksand. It's like a vacuum. If you go towards dunya will vacuumize you, suck you into it. And then, you will just get brainwashed with dunya. But again, all these things that I'm saying, it does not mean that we shun the dunya. We don't hate the dunya. We don't disregard the dunya, because we have to put everything in context. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, don't let the dunya become your biggest concern, your biggest thought of your life, of your brain. Use only dunya as much as you need. And you don't need to, because the dunya will come to you automatically. Allah has promised us this, that if you follow my rules, you follow my messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and you work for the akhirah, these three things, O Quraysh of Makkah, if you do these three things, I will open the dunya for you anyway. But if you just go after dunya, then you will lose everything. So verse number 16 will continue. أولئك الذين ليس لهم في الآخرة إلا النار. Subhanallah, Allah subhanahu says, after explaining the previous ayah about the dunya, just remember that hadith of Rasulullah, the Rasulullah said that this dunya is not equal to the wing of a fly, one wing of a fly. And then just go figure how many of the Muslims day and night, just worried after dunya, And what does worry after dunya mean? Greed, covetousness, You have just first you have just a cycle, then you want a motorcycle, then you want a car, then you want two cars, then you want a van, then you want a truck, then you want a whole RV, then you want a boat, then you want a house, then you have two houses, then you want a mansion. There is no end to dunya. How far is it? The sky is not the limit, it's unlimited. You just keep chasing dunya. And that is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala Rasul is saying, that look, you should only take from the dunya what is necessary and sufficient for you. Don't waste your time in chasing the dunya. Use your time to get the dunya, what is required, necessary for the needs of you and your family. But then use the other time for akhirah, for building akhirah. As much as time we spend in preparing for this dunya, if we use that same time to preparing for akhirah, dunya will come automatically to us. Dunya, like we say in Urdu, dunya aapki qadmon mein Allah Ta'ala la ke rakh dega. Allah Ta'ala will bring the dunya in your footsteps. Allah will bring the dunya in your footsteps. Here, take this, my slave of Allah. Take this dunya in your hand. And that is what Allah did to the Khulafa Rashideen. Beit al-Maqdis was freed. They said, we want to give the key to the house of the Jerusalem, the key to the whole Jerusalem. We want to give it to your Khalifa. Call him over there. So dunya came to the doorsteps of Umar ibn Khattab. The letter was written, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, they don't want to give us the key to Jerusalem unless you come. Please come. He did not want to go. He went there. You know that famous story about Umar ibn Khattab. And he went there with shabby clothes. Somebody offered him that, please change your gown, change your clothes. We're going to be famous. He said, look, this is who we are. This is who we are. We have nothing superficial, nothing banality, artificial. This is who we are. And that's why they said we want to give the key, because we know who your leader is. This is Umar ibn Khattab, who was holding the camel entering the city, and his ghulam was on the camel. They said, this is why we want to give the key to your leader, because this is what leadership is. Imagine the leaders of Muslim countries today. Imagine the leaders of the Muslim country. 57 Muslim countries officially, legally registered in OIC, Organization of Islamic Conference. Not one of those leaders is worrying about akhirah and how much dunya they have. They buy $700 million horses. Some, I don't want to mention names or countries. Someone recently, they bought in Florida a racehorse in Miami, $700 million. Not $700, not $700,000, $700 million in one shot, one check, one wire transfer. That horse is mine. And he's sitting somewhere there in a, where they are. Subhanallah. How many people you can feed? How many people you can save lives from hunger in Africa with $700 million? And that is what Allah is saying in Surah Hud here, a Makki surah, and to the Quraysh, the Arabs. The Arabs were the first recipients of this Quran. And it's the Arabs who were supposed to give leadership to the Muslim Ummah. And today, where are the Arabs? أين معشرة العرب? Where are the Arabs? We are Ajam, we are non-Arabs. We are followers. The leaders, what they have done to us today. And that's where Allah says, أولئك الذين ليس لهم في الآخرة إلا النار. There is nothing for them, meaning those people who love dunya, who want dunya, who accumulate dunya. For those people, there is nothing in akhirah except hellfire, nar. وَحَبِطَ, ihbat means useless, wasteless. It is wasted. وَحَبِطَ مَا صَنَعُوا, and worthless and useless is whatever they did in this world. فِيهَا وَبَاطِلٌ مَا كَانُوا يَعْمَلُونَ. And indeed, it will be all batil and wasted and lost. Nothing will be returned to them in akhirah. Meaning, what means lost here? That whatever a'mal they did for the sake of dunya, on akhirah, it will not be counted. So it's lost. It's like you build something and then you blow air to it. It becomes dust and it's gone. What is dust? Dust flies away in the air. You can't hold on to dust. You pick up a sand. How long can you keep the sand in your hand? You can't keep it long. Ultimately, the sand will keep dropping. When you open your hand, you'll just have some remains of the grains of the sand, but the sand is gone. That is what dunya is, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reminding. Because remember, these ayats are very heavy, very thaqeel, very heavy in meaning ayat. Because Allah is trying to open up the brain of the Quraysh, the mushrikeen of Mecca, that guys, wake up, what are you doing? What are you doing wasting your time in dunya, accumulating here in Mecca and going after these idols and statues of stone? Wake up. That's why these ayats are like current, 440 volts, jolting, shaking, like you give CPR. When somebody is dying, they can't breathe. What do they do in CPR? They pump it, they give a jerk. This is what Allah is doing in these ayats of Surah Hud, giving the Quraysh of Mecca, the first recipients of this ayah, giving them a jerk, a jolt, wake up, come to your senses. What are you in? And yet they did not listen. and did not listen, did not pay attention to Rasul sallallahu, except for very few of them who became the Muslims and Muhajirin, and then they migrated with Rasul sallallahu. 17, Allah subhanahu says, Afaman kana. That is why Rasul said, Shayyibatni hudun wa akhawatuha. You know, when once a Sahabi came to Rasul and he saw some white hair streaks in his beard, in his hair. So, ma hadha ya Rasul, yeah? You became Shayba. You know, Shayba literally means gray hair. So Rasul said, Shayyibatni hudun wa akhawatuha. Surah Hud and its sisters, meaning sisters here, meaning other surahs similar to it, like Yunus and Yusuf and Ibrahim, these surahs that are named after prophets, that mention the people of the prophets. These surahs have made me, O Muhammad sallam, grow early in old age, meaning he's young still. You know, the surah is revealed in Mecca. He's what, in his mid-40s, but he started getting white hair in mid-40s. So he's saying that yes, these surahs are so heavy, they're so stressful. When you pay attention to the meanings of the words, they are so stressful, and because of stress, you get white hair. Today, medical science has proven that when you have a lot of stress on your head, your hair starts turning white very fast. Quick way to check it out: check all the US presidents, their pictures before presidency and after presidency. The biggest one that you can remember right now, not the current one, but the President Barack Obama. If you see his picture from 2007, 2008, before he became president, and you see his picture from 2016 when he's leaving, there's a big contrast. You know, he had a lot of black hair and then a lot of white hair in just 8 years of presidency, because responsibility, mas'uliyah, gives you stress, and stress, you know, makes your hormones grow faster, and you start getting white hair. So Rasul is saying that yes, Shayyabatni Hud wa akhawatuha, gray hair or grayness has come to me because of the Surah Hud, because of the mafahim, the topics of Surah Hud, the mentioning of Surah Hud and things like that. It is very heavy upon me. So Allah subhanahu in verse 17 saying, أَفَمَنْ كَانَ عَلَى بَيِّنَةٍ مِّن رَبِّهِ وَأَتْلُوهُ شَاهِدٌ مِّنْهُ وَمِنْ قَبْلِهِ كِتَابَ مُوسَى إِمَامًا وَرَحْمَةً. So is the one who stands upon a clear evidence from his Lord, meaning Rasulullah bringing that person. وَمِنْ قَبْلِهِ كِتَابَ مُوسَى إِمَامًا وَرَحْمَةً. And before him, before Muhammad sallam, there was the book of Musa Islam, the Torah, which was an imam, a leader, to lead. It was a book that would lead people. وَرَحْمَةً. And it was a book that had mercy of Allah. أُولَٰئِكَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِهِ. These are the people who believe in them, meaning those who believe in Muhammad sallam, they believe in the Torah and Musa Islam also. وَمَنْ يَكْفُرُ بِهِ مِنَ الْأَحْزَابِ. And whoever disbelieves in that from the groups of people, فَالنَّارُ مَوْعِدُهُ, then the hellfire is their final abode. فَلَا تَكُ فِي مِرْيَةٍ مِّنْهُ. And so do not be in any kind of doubt about that. You know, definitely it will be happening. إِنَّ الْحَقُّ مِنْ رَبِّكَ وَلَكِنَّ أَكْثَرَ النَّاسِ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ. Verily, this is a truth from your Lord, but majority of people do not believe in this truth, and they're unnecessarily, they are just arguing about it. 18, one woman أظلم ممن افترى الله كذبا. Who is more unjust, more wrong than the one who invents a lie about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and says that this is from Allah. أولئك يعرضون على ربهم. They are the one who will be presented in front of their Lord on the day of judgment, يوم القيامة. ويقول الأشهاد هؤلاء الذين كذبوا على ربهم. And the witnesses on that day in Yawm al-Qiyamah, meaning the angels, will come and give witness and say that these are the people who lied against our Lord. أَلَا لَعْنَةُ اللَّهِ عَلَى الظَّالِمِينَ. Definitely, indeed, the curse of Allah is upon the ظالمين, the wrongdoers. May Allah save us from them. Ameen. Number 19, الَّذِينَ يَصُدُّونَ عَنْ سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ يَبْغُونَ عِوَجًا وَهُمْ بِالْآخِرَةِ هُمْ كَافِرُونَ. Those people who avert from the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and seek and seek to make a deviant way out of it. وَهُمْ فِي الْآخِرَةِ هُمْ كَافِرُونَ. And they are disbelieving and lying about the akhirah, and they are rejecting about the akhirah. That's not going to happen. أُولَٰئِكَ لَمْ يَكُونُوا مُعْجِزِينَ. These are the people who they will be causing, will be causing no failure to Allah subhanahu on earth. وَمَا كَانَ لَهُم مِّن دُونِ اللَّهِ مِنْ أَوْلِيَاءٍ. And there's no friend or protector for them on earth. يُضَاعَفُ لَهُمُ الْعَذَابُ. The punishment will be increased for them, doubled, multiplied many times on Yawm al-Qiyamah. مَا كَانُوا يَسْتَطِيعُونَ السَّمْعَ وَمَا كَانُوا يُبْصِرُونَ. They were not able to hear or see, meaning they had the ear, they had the eyes, but they could not hear or see because they did not want to listen or they did not want to see. Number 21, أولئك الذين خسروا أنفسهم وضل عنهم ما كانوا يفترون. These are the people who have lost themselves, meaning lost in this dunya and lost in akhirah, and and they were deviated because of what they used to lie about or invent a lie. Number 22, لا جرم أنهم في الآخرة هم الأخسرون. There is no penalty, and there is no loss, and there's no doubt about that they will be lost and they'll have a penalty on the day of judgment. 23, إن الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات, verily those who believe and do the righteous good deeds, وأخبطوا, and they are inclined or humbled. أخبط, تخبيط means humbleness, literally means جوجانا, literally means to bow down, أخبطوا إلى ربهم, and they are inclined and bowed down and humbled towards their Lord. أولئك أصحاب الجنة, they are the ones who will be the people of the Jannah, paradise, هم فيها خالدون, they'll be living in there forever. 24, مثل الفريقين كالأعمى والأصم والبصير والسميع هل يستوون مثلا أفلا تذكرون. The example of the people who are blind and deaf and the one who are seeing and hearing, are they equal? No, they're not equal. They're totally different, vast apart. أفلا تذكرون. So don't you gonna remember? Don't you think about it? 25, وَلَقَدْ أَرْسَلْنَا نُوحًا إِلَىٰ قَوْمِهِ إِنِّي لَكُمْ نَذِيرٌ مُبِينٌ. And now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about Nuh alayhi salam. A major portion of Surah Hud talks about Nuh alayhi salam and his building of the ship and the flood and his son and Mukalma. Very beautiful ayah. That's why Rasulullah said that Hud and its sisters made me gray hair, made me get older so fast, because of the volume of information contained in this. This surah requires so much time, but we don't have time to go into these details. It's one of the very, very, very beautiful surahs. It has a very good message in here that Allah, is striking on those people who are oblivious. Even for us as Muslims, this is a very powerful surah, that those Muslims who are deviant, who have forgotten Allah, forgotten Akhirah, forgotten about Islam, those who are just Muslim by name, if they just read and listen to Surah Hud in its entirety, it will give them a shake-up, it'll give them a jolt of Iman to come to their senses. Subhanallah, and this part of Surah Hud, which talks about Nuh alayhi salam, it's very emotional, very, very emotional. The Sahaba, Ridwan Ajmeen, when they used to recite these ayats, the next, 13, 14 ayats, they would cry profusely. Their beard will become wet. They'll cry so much that, they'll be just, because they're taking the incident as their own, they're feeling it, they're sensing it. And of course, Arabic was their mother tongue, so the Arabic words would resonate with them and strike a chord in them. For us non-Arabs, Ajam, Arabic is not our language, so we have to take the assistance, Sahara of, translation. But even then, if we can go deep into the meanings of these words, and I'll try my best because we have limited time, so I can't go much in detail of the words, but the beauty of the words is mind-boggling, is amazing. What is amazing is the choice of the word that Allah has put in each of these next ayat about the story of Nuh alayhi salam. Especially for parents, for every father, every mother, there is an ibrah, there's a big lesson. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala then says, وَلَقَدْ أَرْسَلْنَا نُوحًا إِلَىٰ قَوْمِهِ إِنِّي لَكُمْ نَذِيرٌ مُبِينٌ. That verily I have sent Nuh alayhi salam to his people, and he said, I am indeed a clear warner to you. أَلَّا تَعْبُدُوا إِلَّا اللَّهِ, that don't worship anyone except Allah. Every prophet said the same thing. Don't do shirk, don't do shirk. And that is why that's why Allah revealed this surah to Rasul in Mecca, because the Meccans were opposing him, rejecting him. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is increasing his spirit, his morale, boosting his morale and spirit. That, look, oh Muhammad sallam, don't grieve, don't be sad on what they're doing. The Quraysh, look, there are people of Nuh alayhi salam, who are much worse than the people you're facing, oh Muhammad, because Nuh alayhi salam's preach and give da'wah for 950 years. 950 years, and after 950 years, you only get a bunch of people who can fit in a ship. Just imagine how many people. And that ayah is coming. We'll talk more about how many people actually went into the ship of Nuh alayhi salam. So Allah subhanahu here is revealing to uplift the spirit and morale of Muhammad sallam, because Allah is seeing what is going on with Muhammad sallam. Allah is seeing and hearing what he is feeling, Muhammad sallam. So Allah is now saying that, look what happened to Nuh alayhi salam. Inni akhafu alaykum adhab yawmin alim. Nuh alayhi salam said to his people, I fear a very great punishment for you on the painful day of judgment. Every prophet did that, said to his people, I fear for you, I fear for your punishment. And people rejected them. They mocked at them. They sarcasm at them. Mazak urana, making fun of them. And so here Allah says in verse 27, قال الملأ الذين كفروا من قومي ما نراك إلا بشرا مثلنا وما نراك اتبعك إلا الذين هم أراذلنا بادي الرعي وما نرى لكم علينا من فضل بل نظنكم كاذبين. Subhanallah, look at the beauty of the words of Allah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving the words as if you can visualize and picture the person who is saying it, that the kind of facial expression they have. I wish I could show you the facial expression that is described in here, that, the qala al-mala. Now, the mala, I told you many times in Surah Araf and other surahs, Surah Tawbah, that the word mala means the elite class, the rich. The rich in every qawm, I'm not saying that every rich person is bad, but what Allah is saying, that the people who are rich and not believing in Allah, not the people who are rich and believe in Allah. Of course, they are humble towards Allah. But here, the mala means the elite, the sophisticated, the most posh part of your society, the upper echelon, the top 1% or the top 5% of any society, any qawm, who are usually the most rich and who are usually the most powerful, who usually have authority, who usually control the masses. That's what the word mala means. That's amazing. The vocabulary of Quran gives you the depiction. فقال الملأ الذين كفروا, and then the rich elite class of the people who disbelieved to Nuh alayhi salam, they said, ما نراك إلا بشرا مثلنا. What are you talking about? Get out of here. I'm trying to make that facial expression so you can see the way that they used to insult and humiliate Nuh alayhi salam. It's kind of like in today's language, they say, come on, get out of here. What are you talking about? You're no prophet, you're no messenger, you're no nobody, you're nothing. Stop wasting our time. That's the kind of thing they're saying. Man, we don't see that you are just, except that you're a man, a human being, bashar like us, because for us, they're saying as if they're saying for us, prophet means something big, huge, you're just a human being like me. You're one of us, you eat and drink just like us. Like Allah says in Surah Furqan, it's coming that I will cover that. Mislana, وَمَا نَرَاكَ اتَّبَكَ. And also we don't see that no one follows you except those who are the most poor and pauper and the impoverished, the ghaliz, people who live in slums, they believe in you, Nuh. We don't, we are the people with nice clothes, fragrance, look at this smell coming out of us. You are the elite people, we walk like this with nose high, head high, and chest up, We see that the downtrodden of the society, the lowest class of the people, they follow you. We don't follow you. If you were one of us, subhanallah, this is the height of insult and humiliation. And they are bad, you're right, and there are people, these people who follow you, they are bad, you're right, they are fools, they're humaqa, they don't have a brain. Hello, Nuh, wake up, foolish people follow you, people who don't have a brain, insane. We are elite class, we have the brain, we have the intellect, we got the mind, we run the whole show, we control the society. Nothing, attracts us what you're talking about. وَمَا نَرَى لَكُمْ عَلَيْنَا مِنْ فَضْلٍ. And on top of that, one after another, sarcasm after sarcasm, insult after insult, humiliation. This ayah was so heavy on Rasulullah, that he is realizing what his brother Nuh alayhi salam amongst the Prophet had to face, the opposition. This ayah is also for every da'i today, anyone who wants to give da'wah to Islam, how people insult you, how people slap you, metaphorically speaking, not physically, how they slap you with words and taunts and teases. This ayah is for every da'i to realize that, look, Nuh alayhi salam took the most heaviest of torture, verbal torture. Here they're saying, number one, we don't see you except a human being like us. Number two, we don't see people following you except the downtrodden of society. Number three, we don't see you people following you except those who don't have any brain, cuckoo, foolish people. Number four, we don't see you have any specialty, any fadl from Allah. وَمَا نَرَى لَكُمْ عَلَيْنَا. We don't see that you have any privilege on top of us, or that you're any better than us. You're worse than us. Oh no, so don't waste your time. Get out of here, or don't waste our time. بل نظنكم كاذبين. The icing on the cake, the nail in the coffin, is the fifth taunt they gave at the end. They said, we think that you are a liar. Astaghfirullah, la hawla wa la quwwata billah. Look at the audacity of the people. They said to Nuh that you are a liar after he proved them with miracles that he is a prophet of Allah. Oh my God. In one ayah, there are 5 daggers or 5 arrows or 5 spears, somebody poking and you, pinching you, pinching you, pinching you. And just look at the sabr of Nuh alayhi salam. Look at the amount of patience that Nuh alayhi salam has, that he is able to bear all of this and absorb this and persevere through it and be able to, accept all of this and digest. And yet he does not retaliate to them. He does not, be aggressive towards them. And he is still giving them advice and nasiyah. Verse number 28, Allah SWT goes on, قَالَ يَا قَوْمِ أَرَأَيْتُمْ إِن كُنْتُ عَلَى بَيِّنَةٍ مِّن رَبِّي وَأَتَانِي رَحْمَةً مِّنْ عِندِي فَعُمِّيَتْ عَلَيْكُمْ أَن نُلْزِمِكُمُوهَا وَأَنْتُمْ لَهَا كَارِهُونَ. After all those attacks in the previous ayah, the 5 things that they attacked him, he comes back to them and says, and here the a'jaz of the Quran, of the Arabic language, is amazing. The word that Allah used here, qala, he said, Nuh alayhi salam, what did he say? Ya qawmi. And he's somebody who has been tortured verbally so much, like the previous ayah saying. He then goes on to say, oh my beautiful people. Ya qawmi is a harfun nida, as we say in the Arabic grammar. A nida, a call that has mahabba and shafaqa and uns embedded in it, meaning these are things that you cannot realize just by looking at the word. These are things that you have to unpack, the gems and jewels you have to unpack using the Arabic grammar, the morphology, the connotation of the language. So he's saying here that, oh my beloved people, oh my people, oh my close people, my nation, my people, my people. He's addressing them with love. In spite of all the humiliation he got, in spite of all the insult he got, he's still loving back to them. He's still being polite and nice and kind to them, not being aggressive to them, not being, in any way, what you want to call, insulting, retaliating, like somebody who gave you so many insults, that you are a liar, nobody follows you except the poor and the pauper. Do you think they'll have enough courage to say that, oh my beloved people, oh my, people, you have that? But this is Nuh alayhi salam. Oh my God. That's why the sabr of Nuh alayhi salam is second to only one prophet, and that is Ayyub alayhi salam. The most top is Ayyub alayhi salam for what he went through, then Nuh alayhi salam, 950 years. He says to them, Ara'aytum, do you see, in kuntu ala bayyinatim, if I was on the truth, min Rabbi, from my Lord, wa atani rahma, and he gave me mercy, min indi, from him, mercy from Allah, fa'ummiyat alaykum, that, and that which has been, invisible to you, meaning the wahi, the revelation that Allah is sending to Nuh alayhi salam, is not visible to them. You think that I will force it upon you, وَأَنْتُمْ لَهَا كَارِهُونَ, and you will be rejecting it, disliking, meaning he's saying, use some sense. I listen to all of your accusations. I listen to all your humiliation. But after all of this, what I'm saying to you as your prophet Nuh is that, you think that after what Allah has given me from his mercy and the message and everything, and what has been hidden from you, you think that I will enjoin or embody you or force you to believe in that while you are disliking it? Meaning, I would not force something to you that is not good for you. In other words, he's saying, this is good for you. Islam, Tawheed, La ilaha illallah is good for you. That is why I'm asking you to believe in it. It is something beneficial for you. Like the doctor gives you a medicine and it's very, very bitter, very sour. You can't even take a sip. Say, oh, doc, oh, I can't take it. But the doctor says, look, you got to take this. This is beneficial for you. You think it's not good for you, but it is. It will cure you. And then you close your nose and you close your eyes and you just try to drink it quickly just to get it down your throat. And that is what he's saying, that, yes, Islam may be against your rituals. Yes, Islam may be against your culture and traditions. Yes, Islam may be against your ancestors and your forefathers, what you've been practicing. But remember, this is beneficial for you. And I'm a prophet of Allah, Nuh, telling you, accept it. You will be saved. You will have a lot of abundance of khair in akhirah. Verse 29, then he says, وَيَا قَوْمِ لَا أَسْأَلُكُمْ عَلَيْهِ مَالًا. And oh my people, I don't ask anything in return from you, no reward. I don't want any mal, I don't want any money from you. I'm giving you this, unconditional love. I'm just giving you because I have been sent as a messenger. Allah wants me to save you. I want to save you. Somebody is falling into a fire, or somebody's burning in their house and the fire. Would you just leave them to burn, or you would try to go and save them? You try your best to break into the house, grab them, bring them out. Even if they're sleeping in the bed, you just pick them up and say, hey, what are you doing? Why are you picking me up from the bed? Hey, your house is on fire. I got to save you. That's exactly what Nuh alayhi salam is saying, that why you want to go towards the fire. In ajriya illa ala Allah. My reward is only with Allah. Allah will give me the reward of nubuwwah, of da'wah. I don't want anything from you. Because they used to think that the prophets are giving message because they want something in return. Just give them some money and they'll go away. Kind of like when somebody is just bothering you and you say, hey, take this money, just leave me alone. So that's the kind of thing they're trying to do. And so Nuh alayhi salam is responding to them and saying, no, I don't want anything from you. I don't want any monetary gains or anything. I'm just giving you from without any intention, because with the intention to save you from the fire. وَمَا أَنَا بِطَارِدِ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا. And I'm not going to drive those people who have believed. They're going to be with me. I'm going to save them, because they did not want to leave those people, to go with Nuh alayhi salam. They were against that. إِنَّهُمْ مُلَاقُوا رَبِّهِمْ. Verily they will meet their Lord. وَلَكِنِّي أَرَاكُمْ قَوْمًا تَجْهَلُونَ. But I see that you are a qawm, a society that is very tajhalun, very jahil, ignorant. You're naive, ignorant. Number 30. وَيَا قَوْمِ مَنْ يَنْصُرُنِي مِنَ اللَّهِ إِنْ طَرَدتُّهُمْ. And oh my people, who would protect me from Allah if I drove them away? Then will you not be reminded? أَفَلَا تَذَكَّرُونَ. Number 31. وَلَا أَقُولُ لَكُمْ عِنْدِي خَزَائِنُ اللَّهِ. And I don't tell you that I have the treasures of Allah, khazain, khazna, gold, jewelry, silver, everything. وَلَا أَعْلَمُ الْغَيْبِ. Nor do I know what is in the unseen, in the ghaib. Only Allah knows what is there. وَلَا أَقُولُ إِنِّي مَلَكٌ. Nor do I tell you, O my people, that I am an angel. I'm not an angel, I'm a human being, I'm Nuh. وَلَا أَقُولُ الَّذِينَ اسْتَزْدَرِي أَعْيُنُكُمْ لَنْ يُؤْتِيَهُمُ اللَّهُ خَيْرًا. And I will not say to the people to whom you look down upon from your eyes, that there will be no good they'll come to them or granted to them from Allah. Allahu a'lamu bima fi anfusihim. Allah knows what is in their hearts. Inni idhan lamina adh-dhalimin. And then indeed I'll be among the wrongdoers if I do that. Number 32. Qalu ya Nuh. They said, meaning the people of Nuh said, oh Nuh, qad jadaltana. You argued with us a lot. Jadal means to argue, debate. This is another insult there. He was not arguing with them. He was just giving them nasihah, advices, but they are ridiculing him by saying that, oh, you are arguing with us. You're debating. In other words, they're saying, we don't want to listen to you. We don't want to talk to you. Why you're just talking to us? فَأَكْثَرْتَ جِدَالَنَا. And you have increased a lot frequently in your argumentation with us. فَأْتِنَا بِمَا تَعُدُنَا. Enough is enough. In this part of the ayah, literally the best way to replicate, the best translation is this, enough is enough. No, just bring what you have, bring it on. We'll see. Like we say in Urdu, dekhi jayegi, lao jo lana hai, bring it on, dekhi jayegi. We'll see what will happen. فَأْتِنَا بِمَا تَعُدُنَا. Bring what you are promising us, meaning bring the azab. You keep scaring us. Allah's azab is going to come. Azab. Bring the azab. This is like, astaghfirullah, this is like rebelliousness. This is inat, stubbornness. This is what Firaun said. This is what Namrud said. This is what all the tyrants says. And this is what today's tyrants say too. Unfortunately, there are so many Muslim leaders today. They say, oh, if your Lord is such, if your God is true, agar tera Rabb sacha la jolana hai, if your Lord is true, bring what you want to bring. Oh, don't attack Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because when the azab comes, you will be very, very sorry. And that's what Allah is showing in that. And they say, فَأْتِنَا بِمَا تَعُدُنَا. Bring what you are warning us against, or bring it on what you are promising us about the azab. إِن كُنْتَ مِنَ الصَّادِقِينَ. If you're really truthful, let us see what you got. Bring it on. This is like the last resort. This is the hujjah that Allah establishes on any qawm. Once the qawm becomes so rebellious, so rejecting, that they say, bring the azab, we don't care. Now this is the hujjah qa'im. Authority has been established, and now the azab will come. This is why the Yunus, in the previous surah we talked about it. This is why the people of Yunus got scared, because when he got upset with them and he left, they said, oh no, this is disaster. Because they knew that from before, that when the prophets get upset and they leave, then azab will come. So they got scared, so they fell down. And that's why Allah said that the only qawm that was 100% Muslim was the qawm of Yunus and Islam, because they all repented to Allah collectively. So Nuh alayhi salam says, response back to them. This is the beauty of Surah Hud. This is the beauty of Quran. It's a dialogue, conversation. Yes, it is a kalam of Allah, but Allah is telling you what's going on in the scene. It's like a movie scene. Scene 1, scene 2, scene 3. First the Mala said this, then Nuh alayhi salam said this, then they said this, then Nuh alayhi salam said. So it's like you, the Qari al-Quran, the reader of the Quran, you're like going like this. You're literally going like this. All right, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? So you're like watching what's going on back and forth. Every ayah is one after another, talking the conversation. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through this ayah, through this Quran, is informing his Habib Mustafa Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Sallaytum ala al-Habib, please pray one time Durood Sharif on Rasul sallam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama sallayta ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka hamidun majid. Allahumma barik ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama barakta ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka hamidun majid. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is revealing these ayahs to inform his Habib Mustafa Muhammad sallam that look, this is what happened. Ya Muhammad, you were not there alive, you were not present, but look, I'm taking you back in time, Ya Muhammad, as if you are seeing what's going on between your brother Nuh alayhi salam and his people, how torturous they were, how bad they were. So what the mushrikeen of Makkah are doing to you, O Muhammad, is nothing compared to what they did to their prophets. So, like, build your morale, hustla barao, and look, improve your patience and ability, capacity. It's the capacity building of Rasulullah through these ayats. And that's why he said, Shayyabatni Hudun wa akhwatuha. Indeed, Hud and its sisters have made me gray in such a young age. So Nuh alayhi salam responds back to them, Qala innama ya'tikum bihi Allah. Verily, Allah will definitely bring that punishment that you are talking about and asking for, insha, if he wants. Wama antum bimu'jizin, and you will not be able to save yourselves from it. You will be doomed. Meaning you'll be doomed, and you will not be able to defend from that azab. You will not be able to rebut to Allah, respond to Allah when the azab comes. Number 34, وَلَا يَنْفَعَكُمْ نُصْحِي, and none of my advices benefit you. Nusi from nasiha. I give you advice one after another, but it's not having any effect on you. إِنْ أَرَدْتُ أَنْ أَنْصَحَ لَكُمْ إِنْ كَانَ اللَّهُ يُرِيدُ أَنْ يَغْوِيَكُمْ. Although I wish to advise you, but if Allah should intend to put you in error, then of course there is no way you can take advice. هُوَ رَبُّكُمْ وَإِلَيْهِ تُرْجَعُونَ, He is your Lord and you'll be returning to Him again. 35, أَمْ يَقُولُونَ افْتَرَى, or do they say, O Muhammad sallam, that he invented a lie, meaning you, about Muhammad sallam, you invented right. قُلْ إِنْ افْتَرَيْتُهُ فَعَلَيَّ إِجْرَامِي, say to them that if I had invented this Quran, then upon me is the punishment, upon me is the ijrami, meaning the consequences of my crime, which is the penalty, وَأَنَا بَرِيٌّ مِّمَّا تُجْرِمُونَ, and I am free and innocent from what you are committing, what crime you are doing. 36, وَأُوهِيَ إِلَى نُوحٍ, and then it was revealed to Nuh. Uhiya, inspired, wahi, revelation came to Nuh alayhi salam. He was told, Jibreel alayhi salam came to Nuh alayhi salam and told him that, Nuh, 950 years have gone, enough is enough. Allah has decided, pack up your bags, it's time to go. And that's what he's saying. إِنَّهُ وَأُوهِيَ إِلَى نُوحٍ أَنَّهُ لَنْ يُؤْمِنْ مِنْ قَوْمِكَ إِلَّا مَنْ قَدْ آمَنَ. Jibreel Islam came to tell Nuh Islam that no one anymore new people will not believe in you. Whoever believe, and no one else will now believe. The hujjah, the decision has been made in the skies, in the heavens by Allah, and it's end of story. Because remember, 950 years, spanning over 9 centuries, just giving the same message again and again, and same people. So now meaning enough time has been given. فَلَا تَبْتَئِسْ بِمَا كَانُوا يَفْعَلُونَ, and so do not get distressed on what they have been doing to you, meaning good news is coming to you, Nuh alayhi salam. Allah is going to be sending you good news. The next ayah, Allah sends the good news to Nuh alayhi salam with the wahi, with the revelation directly giving to him. Number 37, وَاسْنَعِ الْفُلْكَ بِأَعْيُنِنَا. Allahu Akbar. Brothers and sisters, I can't tell you the beauty of this ayah, the sweetness of the words. Subhanallah. Allah is saying, Wasna'il fulk, and build the ship, O Nuh. Allah is giving you an order. Wasna is fa'il amr, order verb. Allah is giving direct order to Nuh alayhi salam. You, Nuh, who was a prophet, who were giving 950 years of da'wah. Now I have given you a new assignment. You pick up hammer and chisel and wood and start building a ship. وَاصْنَعِ الْفُلْكَ. How? بِأَعْيُنِنَا, in front of us, under our supervision. A'yun means eyes, but here it does not refer to eyes. Of course, hasha lillah, la hawla wa la quwwata. We can't say Allah has eyes or nose like us. Allah is far and above. Ghaniyun an ibadi, Allah samad. Allah is far above His creations. But He uses these words. Again, these are ayat mutashabihat. These are words used to give us an understanding and realization. Allah is saying, under my supervision, under my direct supervision, I am watching over you, and no, build the ship. It's like if you are going to some workshop and you're building something and a supervisor says, come on, I'm here, I'm standing, I'm watching you, go ahead and do it. I'm going to guide you every step of the way. If you make any mistake, don't worry about it, just do, because I'm here watching over you. That's what Allah is saying, that you build the ship. No, don't worry about it. We are here. And we are giving you wahy, revealing to you, meaning if you do any mistake in building the ship, the wahy is going to come to you and correct you. وَلَا تُخَاطِبْنِي فِي الَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا. And oh no, don't talk to me, Allah, about the people who have disbelieved. Meaning, if you have any still compassion, love left for your people that you want to beseech on their behalf, because prophets of Allah are always merciful. Prophets of Allah always beg Allah for mercy for their prophets, as we see in their dua. So Allah SWT here is saying, don't talk to me about the people who disbelieve you. No, don't even mention them or bring them in. Innahum mughraqoon. This is the first time now Allah SWT telling them that why I want you to build a ship, because they are gonna be drowned. Mughraqoon, submerged in water, and I want you or Nuh and your people to be saved. So build the ship. Meaning Allah has decreed the azab for them before it comes. They don't know. And remember, they're the one who said, فَأْتِنَا بِمَا تَعِدُنَا, bring us what you are promising, and bring the azab. So Allah says, now, yes, now azab is going to come. Now the flood is going to come. They're going to be mughraqoon, drowned in that. What a beautiful ayah. Number 38, وَيَصْنَعِ الْفُلْكَ. And, I can't help emphasize and stress to you, the graphic imagery in this one ayah 38 is beautiful. It's as if you are back in time, thousands of years back. You're back in time and you're seeing Nuh al-Islam using hammer and chisel, and he's building the boat. He's going like this. وَيَصْنَعِ الْفُلْكَ, Allah says, and he's building, he's actively building. This is fi'l mudari. Fi'l mudari is different from fi'l amr or fi'l madi. Remember, those of you who learn Arabic, there are 3 types of af'al, 4 types of verbs. This fi'l mudari, meaning he is, the depiction, Allah is saying that he's busy, he's working, he's building the ship. وَكُلَّمَا مَرَّ عَلَيْهِ, and every time while he's building and busy, it takes a lot of time to build a ship, a lot of hours. So he's busy day and night working on it, and he's stationed in one place. He's not moving around, he's not going here and there. He's just stationed building the ship. He's no longer calling people to Allah. He's just busy building the ship, and while he's busy in one place building the ship, people pass by him. And every time, marra yamurru means pass. Like we go in Safa and Marwa, we are walking between Safa and Marwa. In a rush, you're going up one time, second time, 7 times you're going, and as you're going, you're passing by, you're looking at people, you're looking at right, left. What are they doing? Yeah, other people. Somebody's going on the wheelchair, somebody's walking. So you're looking. And so these people, the mala, the rich elite class, the posh, the top 1%, every time they pass by, they look, oh, Nuh al-Islam building a ship. So marra alayhi mala min qawmihi, from his qawm, from his people, they would pass by him, and then they would sarcasm, taunt and tease him, meaning they did not let go of their venom, their poison for Nuh al-Islam. He stopped preaching to them. He's not busy building a ship, he's busy working 24/7. Still they want to taunt and tease him and hurt him and provoke him. So sakhiru min, sakhriya means mockery, humiliation, insult, ridicule, mocking at them, sarcasm. What was the sarcasm? Here Rasulullah says in the hadith, it is mentioned in the hadith that the people used to say to Nuh alayhi salam, Ya Nuh, sirta najjaran ba'da kunta nabiyya. Just like that same colloquial accent of the time of that. They would insult him, saying that, oh no, you've become a carpenter? Ew, you were a prophet, man. You became a carpenter after you were a prophet. Sirta najjar. Najjar means a carpenter. Ba'da kunta nabiyya. After you were a prophet, once I remember, once upon a time, you used to come and tell us you are a prophet and message and all that. Now you are become a carpenter. Every time we pass by, we see you building, and you become a carpenter. Even in this word, there is ihana. Ihana means insult, humiliation, and even in this word, there is ihtiram. Respect. Now you might be thinking, wait a second, Brother Jawad, what do you mean respect? They're not respecting Nuh Islam. No, they are. They're saying that, oh, Nuh, you were a prophet. A prophet is a very respectful and noble position, maqam. So you have come down, you have stooped down from a prophet, you come down to low level of Najjar. Najjar is a carpenter. Every day he's working with wood and nails and chisel and hammer and whatnot. So why Nuh? Why you became a carpenter now? You used to be in a very good place and a good maqam, used to be a prophet. So they are respecting the position of prophecy and prophethood, but they're not believing in the prophet. And they're not respecting the prophet as it's supposed to be by accepting his message. They realize that being a prophet is a very high thing. It's better than being a carpenter. It's better than being an electrician or plumber or anything. Of course, no harm or intended for any of these professions at all. Of course, these are all noble professions. But what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning here, that look, even they realize, the mala of the Qawm of Nuh, they realize that being a prophet is a very good thing. But now he's become a carpenter. So Nuh alayhi salam respond, he is working, like the graphic imagery of the words here is like he's like working and listening to them, and then he stops. And he says to them, Qala, he said, Nuh alayhi salam said to them, In taskharu minna, if you mock at us, if you make fun of us, now that we're building the ship, fa inna naskharu mink, we will make fun of you, we will mock at you, kama taskharun, just like you're doing. When? Yawm al-Qiyamah. Day of Judgment, these people who said these blasphemous words to Nuh alayhi salam, Day of Judgment, remember this mala and these mala, they'll be standing there crying, and Nuh alayhi salam will be laughing and smiling. What happened? 950 years. Remember that day when you insulted me and I was working with the hammer? Remember that day when I was building that ship? Oh, what happened? Oh, what happened today? What happened? Come on. That is what Nuh alayhi salam is saying, that don't worry, our turn will come. This is the same thing that people who follow the deen of Allah today, Muslims who are practicing Muslims, who follow Islam, who follow the rules, awamir and nawahi, who follow the rules and regulations of Islam, other people, they make fun of them. Oh, you're so backward. Oh, you have a beard, man. Go get you don't have money for shaving. You don't have money for the spray or something. You want a blade or something. Come on, man, grow up. Oh, you, man, woman, what's this covering? What's this rag on your head? What's this thing wrapping? Get off. Show your hair, show the beauty. What backward people you are. People do that. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this ayah is giving me and you hope. Then look, if people can insult Nuh alayhi salam and mock and sakhar at them, who are you, ya Muslim? Oh Muslim, when people insult you for your hijab, for your beard, for your kufi, or for your dress, or people insult you for your identity as a Muslim practicing, don't get sad. Remember Nuh alayhi salam. Remember what they said to him. Remember what they did to him. When you remember Nuh, you forget all your pain. When you remember Nuh, brothers and sisters, you will forget every taunt and tease and insult that people have hurled at you. You just forget. In fact, you become immune. Nuh alayhi salam here has become immune. He had it enough. Enough is enough. He says, In taskharu minna fa inna naskharu minkum kama taskharun. You make fun of us today, we'll make fun of you just like you're making fun of us. You will get to see it. Just wait. That day is coming. Wow, amazing. I mean, this is just a tip of the iceberg. I haven't gone into the detail of this ayah because we don't have time. It's already, oh my God, it's 5:15 already. But I'm telling you, brothers and sisters, please, I beg you, learn Arabic language. Learn to get the treasures of the Quran. This is just a small surface level that I'm giving you, not even going to the depths of it, the ocean. Quran is like an ocean. You know, scuba divers, they go all the way down to the bed, ocean bed, and they see over there the creations of Allah. That is what tafsir of the Quran is. It's like a scuba diving. You go to the depth, ta'miq al-ayah, you know, the depth of the ayah. So then verse number 39, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, was فَسَوْفَ تَعْلَمُونَ مَنْ يَأْتِيَ عَذَابُ يُخْزِيهِ. You will know definitely to whom will the disgrace and punishment will come from Allah. وَيُحَلُّ عَلَيْهِ عَذَابُ مُقِيمٌ, and it will be permanent, and it will be this enduring punishment upon them. Let's speed up a little bit. Number 40, حَتَّى إِذَا جَاءَ أَمْرُنَا وَفَارَتِ النُّورُ. And now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about the azab, how the azab of the people of Nuh alayhi salam came in terms of the flood. Until our order came to them, وَفَارَتِ النُّورُ, and the oven began. Tanur literally means oven. You know, oven where you cook roti, you know, the khubz, the bread, tandoor. So what does it mean? Allah is saying overflow, meaning it is ubal ki aa raha hai. You know, it's like it's bubbling up. You know, it's throwing up on it. This is referring to the water, the ocean. You know, and the water is now just bubbling up from the land, from the, you know, from underneath the ground. The water is gonna come up. The water is, you know, even though it's referring to tanur, it's not talking about like a fountain or something, but it's talking about that, because just like when you put something on the hot stove, you know, you put some water, some milk, anything on the hot stove, and you just put full heat, what happens? Starts blowing up, you know, like water starts flowing up, milk starts overflowing. That is what Allah is saying. وَفَارَتْ التَّنُّورُ. Once, you know, have you ever seen on a stove when the water is boiling and overflowing, can you stop the water? Can you hold it? No, you just close the heat. If you don't close the heat, it will keep going until it's evaporated. That's the vision Allah is giving here, that the water was just flowing and flowing and nobody can stop it. وقلنا, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, احمل فيها من كل زوجين اثنين, meaning, oh Nuh, load up into the ship from every two partners, you know, two mates, the madda of the male and female. In this ayah also is a clear message for the homosexuals. Allah doesn't allow homosexuality. Biggest proof is here. To Nuh alayhi salam, Allah said, don't keep just two men. If homosexuality was allowed, he would say, just, you know, forget the women, just keep the men, or make the women and men separate, that all they go together. Allah is saying zawjain. Zawj means spouse. Zawj means companion, complementation, meaning opposite. Opposite genders attract. Opposite things, you know, a positive and a negative, they come together. You know, magnetic field has a north and a south and a positive and negative. A battery, a cell has a positive and negative. You can't have both positive or both negative. It is illogical for anything. So Allah is trying to give a hint in many ways. Here Allah says to Nuh alayhi salam that keep the partners of each species together. As it's mentioned in the hadith of Rasulullah also, that Nuh alayhi salam not only gathered humans in the ship, but even the animals and the birds and hasharat, everything of two. You know, if it's elephants, male and female elephant. If it's bird, male and female bird. If it's human being, male and female. And Allah subhanahu says, min zawjain isnayn wa ahlak, and your family, your people, illa man sabaq alayhi al-qawl, except those people upon whom our word has preceded, meaning those who are doomed, who have not believed in you from your family, then they would not go there in the ship. وَمَنْ آمَنَ, and whoever believes in you, O Nuh alayhi salam, gather them also in the ship. وَمَا آمَنَ مَعَهُ إِلَّا قَلِيلٌ. And then Allah says, not many people believed in him, very little few believed in him. And here in this about this word, Rasulullah said, how much is this qalil? As one of the riwayat, Rasulullah says that about 80 people. Some say it's 72 or 78, some say 80. I mean, approximately between 70 to 80 people who believed in Nuh alayhi salam. 950 years. That's not even one per year, my dear brothers and sisters. Is it? Yeah, it's not one per year. Even if you have one person believing every year, it will be 950 people. But he had only 80 people. That just goes to show how much opposition and audacity he had to face. What did Nuh alayhi salam had to face? 950 years, and the average is not even one per year. Not even one per 2 years. Not even one per 10 year. Just figure out the ratio. 80 divided by 950. What does it come out to? Some number. Subhanallah, this is the stress that he had to go through, the difficulty. And here we as Muslims here in this world, we complain about so many things. Wallah al-Azim, brothers and sisters, I swear by Allah, if we just remember the story of Nuh al-Islam, we will forget our problems. Any problem you have, any difficulty, any pain you have, you'll just forget remembering Nuh al-Islam. 950 years and only 80 people fit in a ship. And then Allah SWT says, verse 41, وَقَالَ ارْكَبُوا فِيهَا بِسْمِ اللَّهِ مَجْرِيهَا وَمُرْسَاهَا. This is imala, as we say. We don't say majraha, we say majriha in Hafs and Asim qira. You know, this is a beauty of the qira of the Quran that is mentioned. One of the rules of qira are over here embedded for us. You know, you always read this majriha, but you never thought about it. Why we read that? This is from the husn al-qira'as. You know, there are ashra qira'at, 10 different qira'at. And one of the tools of the qira is known as imala, that you're stretching. So instead of stretching up, you're stretching down. Instead of saying majraha, you say majreha. You bring it down. It becomes a, you know, kasra, zir. وَمُرْسَاهَا. So Nuh alayhi salam is said to have that embark in it, you know, get irkabu, enter into the ship. And when you enter in the ship, say Bismillah, say in the name of Allah. You know, as it's with its going in its course and going with its anchorage. You know, mursaha, whatever it was anchored with, take that off. Inna Rabbi laghafur rahim. Indeed, my Lord is forgiving and merciful. And then Allah SWT tells us, وَهِيَ تَجْرِي بِهِمْ فِي مَوْجٍ كَالْجِبَالِ. And the ship has now started sailing in the water. And remember, now the water, once the ship has started sailing and they're off, you know, they're embarked, they have gone off in the sail, then the azab starts, you know, then the water starts coming up. Where does the water come from? Allah says now, وَهِيَ تَجْرِي بِهِمْ فِي مَوْجٍ. And the ship is going in mawj. Mawj means wave. How big is the wave? Kal jibal. Allahu Akbar. Allah is saying the waves are huge like mountain. You know a mountain? That is a wave. And the ship, just imagine how big the ship must have been. That it's going in mountain-sized waves and huge ship. وَنَادَى نُوحٌ ابْنَهُ. And this is the very emotional and sentimental part, you know, the part that every father begins to cry, you know. Nuh alayhi salam, he calls upon his son. وَنَادَى نُوحٌ ابْنَهُ. And Nuh called upon his son. Oh, my son! You know, Nuh alayhi salam had 4 sons. And the son that is mentioned here in this ayah is Canaan. The other 3 sons were Ham, Sham, Yafet. Ham, Sham, Yafet were 3 sons who believed in him, who obeyed him, and they got into the ship. Canaan didn't believe in him. He rejected his father. He rejected the deen of his father. But he was his son. So he did not get in the ship, because remember the previous ayah says, whoever believes in you from your family, or Nuh, get them in. So Canaan didn't, so he didn't go there. But now the love of the father knows my son is not in the ship, but the love of the father comes out as he's seeing in the water huge waves coming. You know, the shafaqa of the father, baap ki shafqat jagoti, you know, the rahmah of the father just wakens the wife, you know, it just strikes him that, oh my God, my son, Canaan. Yeah, you know, وَنَادَى نُوحٌ ابْنَهُ. You know, it's so emotional here. The Sahaba will recite this ayah and they'll be crying so much. You know, even for mothers, you know, it's very difficult. If you just imagine as a mother, your son is drowning in water, you would leave him alone. Your daughter is drowning in water, mother, will the mother and father leave them alone? No mother, father can ever do that. And if you have not become a father or mother yet, you don't know this ayah. You cannot feel this ayah. Only a father, only a mother can feel the pain of this ayah. And then only that pain can make them cry. Then he says, وَكَانَ فِي مَعْزِلِ. And, you know, and he was, you know, he was apart, far away from him on a place. يَا بُنَيَّ إِرْكَبْ مَعَنَا. Come, my son, come jump onto the board, onto the ship. Quickly try, come over. مَعَنَا وَلَا تَكُمْ مِنَ الْكَافِرِينَ. And don't be from the disbelievers. Meaning, Nuh alayhi salam is saying, oh Canaan, oh my son Canaan, you still have a chance. Stay, la ilaha illallah, and get in the ship and you'll be saved. But instead of accepting his father and the deen of his father, Canaan, the son says, قَالَ سَآوِي إِلَى جَبَلِ يَعْصِمُنِي مِنَ الْمَاءِ. Oh my father, no, I will go towards this mountain that is here, and that will save me from the water. Yes, I see there's water, you know, waves coming, but I'll just go to the mountain. The wave will not come to the mountain. قال لا عاصم اليوم من أمر الله إلا من رحم. He says, Nuh alayhi salam says, there is no protection, there is no asim, there's no protection today from the decree of Allah, min amrillah. The amr of Allah is everybody's going to be drowned. So there is no protection of Allah except whom Allah has rahmah, mercy upon, illa man rahim. وَحَالَ بَيْنَهُمَا الْمَوْجِ. And while this conversation is going on between father and son, Nuh and Canaan are talking, suddenly a wave comes in the middle. Hala means that's something that comes between you and me. Like, like right now, if I put this is hala. You can't see me. This is in the middle. So, it's mind-boggling, the vocabulary, the word of the Quran here. وَحَالَ بَيْنَهُمَ الْمَوْجِ. Father and son are talking. Just visualize, brothers and sisters, put in your mind, close your eyes, visualize you're talking to your son face to face, and a big wave comes in the middle. You're like shocked. You're like thrown back. Oh, فَكَانَ مِنَ الْمُغْرَقِينَ. Then he was from the drowners. People are drowned. Meaning the wave came in the middle and took from the mountain, Canaan, took the son away. That is why the Sahaba used to cry so much, reading and listening to these words, and visualize. They're visualizing. You're talking to your son. You're extending your hand. That son, come, save. And the wave comes, and you're thrown away. And the next thing you see, your son is gone. Oh, mera beta, my ibni, gone. Let that sink in. That will make you cry. You'll feel the ijaz of the Quran, the miracle of the Quran. 44, وَقِيلَ يَا أَرْضُ ابْلَعِي. Now Allah says how the water is coming, that even a mountain is not. Imagine, when we look at mountains, we see like, okay, if the water rises, we can always go to the mountain. It's common sense, right? Logic. That's what Canaan, that's what the son of Nuh alayhi salam said. It's very logical, Dad. Nothing to worry about. I'll just go to the mountain. But Allah is saying, وَقِيلَ يَا أَرْضُ ابْلَعِي مَاءَكِ. And we said, meaning Allah said to the land, oh land, blow up your water, fill up your water, throw up your water. So there's water coming from the ocean, there's water coming from the land. There's water underneath the land. We dig wells and we drink water. So the water that is in the water and that is in the water table of the land below the earth's layers, that begins coming up. So there's water on the land, there's water from the ocean. And check this out. وَيَسَّمَاءُ. And the skies, أَقْلِئِ. Send your water, O sky. Rain down, pour down heavily, skies. There's water everywhere. Everywhere you turn, right, left, top, bottom, everywhere. Water, 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 water. Water from the ocean, water from the land, water from the top, water from here. No refuge. وَغِيضَ الْمَاءُ. And the water and the water was just overflowing. وَخُذِيَ الْأَمْرُ. And the affair was, the water was overflowing and then started subsiding into it. And the amr was decided. Meaning the water came to its full blown. The ship was there. People in the ship saved. When everything is drowned, then the water begins to recede, go down. وَقُضِيَ الْأَمْرُ. And the affair has been decided. The matter has been accomplished. What Allah wanted to accomplish has accomplished. All the bodies of the human being went in the water. وَاسْتَوَتْ عَلَى الْجُودِ. And the ship came to rest. As the water calmed down, the storm calmed down, the ship came to Mount Judai. Mount Judai, as they say, is in the area of Turkey, in the Ankara, Istanbul area. There's a big mountainous range over there. Some archaeologists have even said that they've found some remains of the ship of Nuh alayhi salam over there. But just imagine how the earth must have been. If you take it like a NASA satellite image, there's no land. Earth, it's all blue. Earth is fully blue. No land at all anywhere, because everywhere is water. There's just one ship sailing somewhere, going around. And the ship then comes to them, because that shows you why the ship came on the mountain, because water is above the level of mountains. So when the water begins to recede, the ship came and got stuck on the mountain, and then water slowly kept going down. Then they found out that, we are in the middle of two mountain range. Land is way down there. وَقِيلَ بُعْدًا لِقَوْمِ الظَّالِمِينَ. And and it was said to them that away are the wrongdoing people. Verse 45, وَنَادَى نُوحٌ رَبَّهُ. And then Nuh, after the storm has gone, now the mukalima, now the conversation between Prophet of Allah and Allah. Oh, subhanallah. Brothers and sisters, these words, these I can't explain to you. I mean, you have to know the Arabic language. These words between Nuh alayhi salam and Allah, they're so powerful, you know. Even if you're not a father, you will cry. Verse 45, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَنَادَى نُوحٌ رَبَّهُ. Nuh alayhi salam, after the storm, after the water is gone, Nuh alayhi salam, he calls upon Allah. He begs Allah. وَنَادَى نُوحٌ رَبَّهُ. He calls upon his Lord. فَقَالَ رَبِّي. He said, "Oh my Allah, oh my Lord, إِنَّ ابْنِي مِنْ أَهْلِي." He said, "Oh Allah, my son is my family. Oh Allah, you know, after the disaster, after everything is gone, he's distraught as a father. As a father, he's shattered, he's broken." You can just imagine how Nuh alayhi salam is feeling. After 950 years of da'wah, after going through the laborious work of building a ship, building for Allah, after going through the storm, trying to save his son, and the storm takes the son away. After everything is settled down, the storm is settled down, he calls upon Allah. He's pouring his grief, he's pouring his emotions to Allah. Because you can't talk to anyone except Allah. When you are in grief, when you are in sadness, who are you going to talk to? Who will you tell your, yani, hum apna dukhda kisko sunayenge? Who are we going to talk to when we are so overwhelmed with emotion? It's only Allah. It's only Allah. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. We are from Allah, and to Allah we return. So this conversation that is going on now is not between a prophet and Allah. It's between a father, a makhluq, and Allah, and his khaliq. فَقَالَ رَبِّ إِنَّ إِبْنِي مِنْ أَهْلِي. Oh my Lord, oh my Allah, oh my beloved Allah, Lord, my son is from my family. وَإِنَّ وَعْدَكَ الْحَقِّ. And your wa'ad, your promise is haqq, it's true. Aapka wa'da sach hai, Ya Allah. What is the wa'ad? That I will save you, save the Prophet, and save your family. That's why he's saying that, oh my Allah, this is my family is gone, my son Canaan. وَأَنْتَ أَحْكَمُ الْحَاكِمِينَ. And you are the most wisest of the rulers, the judges. Hakimin, hukum, judge. Ahkam, you are the most wisest judge of judge, in your utmost wisdom and wisest way. Ya Allah, I lost my son Canaan. He's pouring his emotions, he's pouring his feelings, his sentiments out to Allah. That, oh Allah, my son is from my family, and your promise is haqq, is true, saving my family. And now the response, jawab, comes from Allah. Remember, a makhluk is talking to the khaliq. So the khaliq is focusing and telling the makhluk, Come to your senses. Yes, becoming sentimental, becoming emotional, it's true. It's part of your bashariya. You know, we're not angels. We're human beings. Allah has given us emotions. Angels have no emotions. We know that for sure. Because we know that the angels who give adhab, the angel who takes the soul at the death, has no emotion. If the angel had emotion, wallah azim, nobody would die. Nobody would die if angel had emotions. Nobody will be thrown in the hellfire if angels and emotions. Angels don't have emotions. We have emotions. We are human beings. We are bashar. And the bashariya overpowers you, takes the best of you, and you start feeling the emotion. You start pouring it out. And he starts, he's not complaining to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's not at all. Some people have misinterpreted this ayah saying, oh, look, Nuh Islam is complaining to Allah. No, 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 no. This is a father pouring his emotions out. He's pouring his sentiments out. He's feeling his hassasiyah, as we say in Arabic. His hassasiyah, his hiss is coming out. It's gripping. Remember, when is this gripping him? After the storm has subsided, after the ship got stuck on the mountain. Subhanallah, this shows you that the father still has umeed, still has hope. He still has tama, perhaps maybe somehow Allah can save my son. So he's saying, Ya Allah, say, my son is from my family, and your promise is so truthful. Qala ya Nuh, O Nuh, Allah said to Nuh, Innahu laysa min ahlik. O Nuh, stop crying, ya Nuh. Come to your senses, ya Nuh. Subside your emotions, ya Nuh. Control your nafs, ya Nuh. Innahu laysa min ahlik. No, your son Canaan is not from your family. Who is saying this? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Just imagine and visualize the kalam of Allah coming to Nuh alayhi salam and informing, your son is not your son. Your son is not your blood. Your son is not from your flesh. Even though I, as Allah, created your son from your blood, from your flesh, but I, as Allah, the Khaliq of your son and the Khaliq of you, ya Nuh, I am vehemently denying and rejecting that your son is not your son, because your son is one not from your blood, not from your flesh, not from the bone, but your son is one who believes in your message, which is Allah. In other words, family is not blood, family is not genes, family is La ilaha illallah. Absorb that, brothers and sisters. Let that sink in. This is what Allah is giving a strong message to Nuh alayhi salam. Remember, Nuh alayhi salam is no ordinary prophet. He is ulul azm min ar-rusul. He is the highest, the 5 greatest prophets of Allah that Allah has mentioned in the Quran. He's one of those 5. So he has a very high maqam, high rutbah, even amongst the prophets in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So he has, that's how he mustered enough courage to ask Allah that, oh Allah, my son is from my family. And Allah says, Innahu laysa min ahlik. He is not from your family, O Nuh. Innahu amalun ghayru salih. It is a work that is not at all salih, not at all righteous and pious, meaning what your son Canaan did is not at all. And I as Allah will not save your son just because of him rejecting me, Allah. You know what that means, brothers and sisters? This is the meaning of what Rasul said, that you have to love Allah and His Messenger more than you love yourself. This is the meaning. Family comes second. Son, daughter comes second. Yourself even comes second. First comes Allah. Then comes Rasul. Then your own nafs. Then your family. So Allah is saying, when it comes to Allah, when it comes to believing Allah, when it comes to kalam of Allah, no exceptions whatsoever. فَلَا تَسْأَلْنِي. So no, don't ask me, Allah. مَا لَيْسَ لَكَ بِي عِلْم. What you don't have knowledge of that. إِنِّي أَعِظُكَ. I warn you, O Nuh, أَن تَكُونَ مِنَ الْجَاهِلِينَ, that you be from the ignorant. Meaning, don't repeat this dua again to me. Don't beg again about your son to me. This is one final warning. Subhanallah, what a powerful words from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to Nuh alayhi salam. Immediately Nuh alayhi salam realizes that yes, the emotion took the best of me, overpowered me, the emotions got the best of me, and I began asking Allah something, I began saying something, because when you get emotional, brothers and sisters, we all get emotional, right? When you get emotional, your brain stops thinking. You stop thinking from the brain when you are emotional, when tears are coming, whether tears of joy or tears of sadness. Your brain stops functioning. The CPU, the logical processing in the calculation of the brain stops because emotion overpowers it. So it stops, it shuts off the brain. Now you're thinking from your heart, just like me and you do. Nuh alayhi salam is a human being. He's not an angel. He's not a jinn or anything. He is a human being like me and you. And he has a heart. So his heart began to overpower his brain. He started asking Allah, oh Allah, save my son. Your promise is haqq. Now when Allah's warning came to him, Inni a'udhuka an takuna min al-jahilin, I warn you anew, don't be from the ignorant. He like, it's like literally graphic imagery. He's like shaking his head. What am I doing? Let me come back to my senses. Who is this I'm talking to? I'm talking to Allah, the Lord of the world, Rabbul Alameen. So the next words in the ayah, they're amazing, mind-boggling. قَالَ رَبِّ إِنِّي أَعُوذُ بِكَ أَنْ أَسْأَلُكَ. Oh Allah, I seek refuge in you that I ask you a question which I have no knowledge. And for a second, he forgot who he is, and he just became a father, and he started having emotional. Allah is, brothers and sisters, in these two ayahs, there's a principle of leadership. Prophets are leaders. Prophets are role models. They lead the masses. You may have read books of Stephen Covey and, the 7 habits of highly effective people, the 7 habits of leadership skills, whatnot. You may have read a lot of books and articles about leadership, but the leadership principle Allah is giving over here, which no ever book can give to you, because Quran revealed this leadership skill 1400 years ago. There are books about emotional leadership. Now there are new things out there coming out, emotional IQ, emotional intelligence, EI, and their quotient and all that. All of this is coming from the root source of Quran and this ayah. What is emotional intelligence? Allah is teaching you that, look, don't let your heart overpower your brain. Don't let your emotions outpour and confiscate your brain. Think from your brain. Think from your logic. You are a leader or no. You are a role model or no. Good leaders are those who don't get overpowered by emotions and then make a mistake or say a thing that is foolish. Because remember, he said, Inni a'udhuka an akuna min al-jahilin, that don't be from amongst the ignorant people. Don't ask me something that is very ignorant. And what is ignorance? Ignorance, ignorance really means that something you have no knowledge of, and that only happens when the heart has taken in the emotions and the heart has taken over the brain, and now you're not even realizing the knowledge has been suspended temporarily. So the leadership skill that Allah is teaching here, that good leaders, pragmatic leaders, progressive leaders, successful leaders are those who in times of distress, in times of hardship, in times of difficulty, in times of quagmire and turbulence. Imagine you are a pilot of the plane, and there's a big turbulence, there's a storm, the plane can crash. If you start becoming emotional and pick up the mic, guys, just pray to Allah, we're all dying, we're going to Jahannam, I can't save this plane. This is jahiliyyah, this is ignorance, this is foolishness, this is emotionality taking care of you while you are the pilot, you are the helm of affairs, you have the steering wheel of the plane or the ship, and you're acting foolishly. At that time, great men rise. Emotionality, that is why now you know why Allah did not send women as prophets. All the feminist movement and all the feminists in the world, even Muslim women feminists, they attack us saying that why did not Allah send women as prophets? This is the biggest proof. Surah Hud, verses 45 through 47. Check it out. That even one of the most strongest man on earth, Nuh alayhi salam, even he got overpowered by emotions. He began asking Allah something that is totally against the rule and logic and the semantics. He became emotional even then. Then what about women who are already twice emotional than men? And yes, women have to be emotional. Don't take it wrong, my dear sisters in Islam. Sisters, Islam or Allah is not talking against women. Islam is very practical, pragmatic. Islam is saying, Allah is saying, I've made women more emotional than men because of their role of motherhood. Mother will not be a mother if she was not an emotional. Why is it that the father goes to sleep at night carelessly about the child crying. But the mother says, no, I am the mother. I will stay up. I'll stay up all night. I'll carry my child. You want to go to sleep, you go sleep as a father. But I cannot go to sleep while my child is crying all night. What is this? Is this logic? Is this science? Is this PhD? This is emotionality. And Allah has made mothers emotional. And because Allah made mothers emotional more than fathers, more than males, human beings, then Allah has given the Jannah under the feet of the mothers also. That's why we, the men, don't have Jannah under our feet, because we are less emotional. And that's why the leadership, the ruling thing has been entrusted with men in the society. Prophets are men, imams are men, because you can't be emotional. If you become emotional, you will drown the whole lot. You will make the whole qafila, the whole caravan lost with that. So then when he came back to his senses, realized what he's doing. قَالَ رَبِّ إِنِّي أَعُوذُ بِكَ, oh my Lord, I seek refuge in you. And أَسْأَلَكَ مَا لَيْسَ بِهِ إِلْمٍ, oh Allah, I seek refuge in you that I should not ask you what I have no knowledge of. وَإِلَّا تَغْفِرْ لِي, and if you, Allah, don't forgive me, meaning he's asking forgiveness. What did he do? Nuh Islam didn't do anything wrong. He's just being a father. He's just showing his emotion. He asked Allah that, save my son, save Canaan, he's from my haqq. But still he is realizing that, he did a very, very, inappropriate thing, something he should not have done. He did that. So he's saying, wa illa taghfir li wa tarhamni, if you don't forgive me and if you don't have mercy on me, ya Allah, akum min al khasirin, I will be from the losers. So don't let me be from the losers. He's making dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nuh alayhi salam. Amazing conversation, amazing dialogue, amazing back and forth between Allah and Nuh. Oh, subhanallah, brothers and sisters, you can't realize the affection, the love that is going on between the kalam, between the talk that is going on between Nuh alayhi salam and how he's addressing Allah and how Allah addressing him. That is why, leadership demands and warrants senses. Those who remain in their senses in the most difficult times are the best leaders. And those who lose their senses, lose their things due to emotionality, whether emotionality is in terms of tears and, jazbat, emotions in terms of tears and sadness and depression, or emotionality in terms of fit of rage and anger and venom. Both sides are two extremes of emotionalities. Either you become so soft and mild and gentle and sadness, or you become very aggressive and stubborn and rigid, that you might do things, in fit of rage. As a leader, you might go and mutilate the body of your enemies. And that's why Allah says that is haram, that's forbidden. Rules of engagement of a battle is that once a person has died and been killed in a battle, you do not touch the body, you don't mutilate the body, you don't do anything with the body. So then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in verse 48, قِيلَ يَا نُوحُ اهْبِطْ بِسَلَامٍ مِنَّا وَبَرَكَاتٍ عَلَيْكَ وَعَلَىٰ أُمَمٍ مِّمَّنْ مَعَكَ وَأُمَمٍ سَنُمَتِّعُهُمْ ثُمَّ يَمَسُّهُم مِّنَّا عَذَابٌ أَلِيمٌ. It was then said to Nuh alayhi salam that, okay, go ihbit, meaning disembark. The ship has stopped now, the boat has stopped, open the gate, get down from the ship, go now live on earth with peace and tranquility. Minna, bisalamin minna, from blessings from us, wa barakatin, and bounties and blessings upon you, wa ala ummamin mimman ma'ak, and to those ummah that will be with you, meaning people. Remember, Nuh after this incident, after this flood, Nuh alayhi salam is known as the second father of humanity. Abul Bashar, Abul Thani, as the Arabic laqab is, Abul Thani. Who is the first father of human beings? Adam alayhi salam. Why is Nuh alayhi salam called the second father? Because those 80 people, just those 80 people, those human beings, they were the only human beings left on earth. Everyone else died. Everyone else drowned, perished. No human being on earth now except for Nuh and his 80 people. Just like when Adam and Hawa first came on earth, they married, they had children, then the children, human race going. Can you imagine the same Allah who made the human population grow so much by the time of Nuh alayhi salam, that same Allah drowned that human population. The same God that created thousands of people, the same God perished them, finished them, and saved 80. A big message from Allah that I will not spare you, makhluk, if you go in the audacity, in the rebelliousness, aggression of me, Allah. I am your master, I'm your khaliq. Even though I'm your creator, even though you're my makhluk, I will not spare you if you go against that. Big warning. And now we are like 7 billion people. 80 people from Nuh alayhi salam. Now how many? 7 billion and still counting and growing. Every day there's a child born. What a child. Not one child, but so many children are born every day. And that's why Nuh alayhi salam is known as the second father, Abu Thani al-Bashar, the human being's second father. Because from those three sons of Nuh alayhi salam and his families, Ham, Sham, Yafet, these are three. As the riwayat of hadith tell us, that people are three different races. You're white, or you're colored, or you are zulf ulun. Your eyes are like stretched apart. People from the Far East area. Of course, there's no discrimination or any kind of racism against them, but this is how one of the sons of Nuh alayhi salam was like that. So that generation has continued in society. One of the sons of Nuh alayhi salam was white, like the white sand. So that generation has continued. And one of the sons of Nuh alayhi salam was colored, brownish or blackish, and so that generation has continued. So the three generations of Nuh alayhi salam, the three children of Nuh alayhi salam, sons from that, the human race has continued, that me and you are part of. Who are we from the India, Pakistan? Allah knows best. I think we're probably from Sham, the second son of Nuh alayhi salam. Allah knows best. So Allah subhanahu here tells us that, go and live over there, and the people that believe in you on Nuh alayhi salam, they will also be in full security from us as long as they're believing in you. And there are other nations that we will touch, we will, save them, protect them, while there are other nations that we will have our azab come to them because of their rejection. 49, تِلْكَ مِنْ أَنْبَاءِ الْغَيْبِ نُوحِيهَا. Now Allah subhanahu ending the story of Nuh alayhi salam and saying, these are the stories and news from the unseen which we reveal to you, O Muhammad sallam, meaning man kunta ta'lamuha, you, O Muhammad sallam, did not know about Nuh alayhi salam and this story of the storm and the son of Nuh alayhi salam and all that. Wala qawmuk, and your people did not know about this also, min qawl, from before. Fasbir, have patience, O Muhammad sallam. Innal aqibata al-muttaqin. Remember that the aqiba, the true result, the true productive progress is for the muttaqin, for the pious, righteous people. Only them. They are the ones who will have success. Because even if you're feeling down right now in Mecca or Muhammad sallam, don't worry about it. Your future is bright. Your future is beautiful and successful, just like the future of Nuh alayhi salam. A beautiful ending to the story, that the ship descends and 80 people come out, and then they start going about the same earth that was totally drowned is now same earth giving crops and fruit and vegetation, and now they're living together, and now they're growing, they're multiplying, and the human race is going. So, oh Muhammad sallam, don't worry about the mushrikeen of Mecca, what they're doing to you right now. Indeed, success is for you and your followers. Verse number 50. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about the prophet on whose name this surah is. So before was the story of Nuh, now the story of Prophet Hud alayhi salam. Allah says, وَإِلَىٰ عَادٍ أَخَاهُمْ هُودًا, and to the people of Ad, their prophet, their brother, or who was a prophet, Hud, was sent to them. Ad were a superpower on earth. There were two big superpowers on earth about whom Allah mentions in the Quran, Ad and Thamud. They were superpowers in the sense that they were invincible, almost to speak, so to say. And so therefore nobody could defeat them, nobody could overpower them, and they were like the best. They had everything in their arsenal. Kind of like today you have two superpowers, or they say 1.5 superpower or whatever. So that's why, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning that we had blessed them, the Qawm of Ad, Qawm of Thamud, meaning Allah has given them. They didn't get anything from their own. Yes, they used their brain and intellect to build those things and that power and all that, but it was Allah who built them. And then Allah sent them prophets. It's a message from Allah that I don't leave the superpower alone. So Allah is saying, whatever superpower is on earth, I will still send them a prophet and tell them to believe in the ultimate true superpower, which is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. قال يا قوم اعبدوا الله ما لكم من إله غيره. Hud alayhi salam said to his people, oh my people, believe in Allah, obey Allah, worship Allah. There is no other God for you besides Him. In antum illa muftarun. Verily indeed you are inventing falsehood, that you are saying that there are other gods. They used to worship idols and statues. Ya qawmi la as'alukum alayhi ajra. Again, same thing as Nuh alayhi salam said. Hud alayhi salam is saying to his people, "Oh my people, I don't ask you for any return or money. In ajra illa ala alladhi fatarani. Verily, my ajr is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who created me. Afala taqilun. Then don't you have any reason?" Verse 52. Wa ya qawmi astaghfiru rabbakum thumma tubu ilayhi. Oh my people, seek forgiveness from Allah and repent to Him. Yeah, He will send you skies raining down upon you. Yursil as-sama' alaykum midrara. It's an expression that Allah will rain down barakat, blessings after blessing upon you if you only do istighfar. This is in line with the hadith of Rasulullah. Rasulullah said, whoever does istighfar daily, whoever does istighfar, Allah will send barakah on them. So if you just recite 100 times astaghfirullah, 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 100 times in the morning, 100 times in the evening, you will see in your rizq there'll be barakah. Especially people who have no job, who lost their job, laid off, furloughed, whatever. Just keep reciting istighfar. You will see rizq will start coming to you. This is what Allah said here in Surah Hud, and this is what Rasulullah said also, that istighfar brings the barakah from Allah. When insan does istighfar to Allah, Allah gives you money from sources you cannot even think of. You are jobless, you have no job, but money will come. Allah will find a way that the money reaches your door. It's Allah's job, Allah's work. He will get it done. We don't need to worry about where and how it's going to come. I have no job, I have no business. It will come. You do your job. You do your responsibility and duty, and that is astaghfirullah. And if you want to go the second degree, the second level, it is astaghfirullah rabbi min kulli dhanbin wa atubu ilayh. This is the longer version. But yes, for some people it's difficult to recite the whole sentence. So you can do the shorter version. Astaghfirullah, 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 astaghfirullah. 100 times in the morning after Fajr, 100 times in the evening after Asr. Inshallah, you do this for 30 days and you will see the barakat start coming, inshallah, in your life. So, وَيَزِدْكُمْ قُوَّةٍ إِلَّا قُوَّتِكُمْ, and Allah will increase your strength and power, increasing it more and more. وَلَا تَتَوَلَّوْا مُجْرِمِينَ, and do not turn away like criminals. Again, the people of Ad, they responded to their prophet Hud alayhi salam with insult and humiliation and taunt and teasing and mocking. They said, قَالُوا يَا هُودُ, they said, "Oh Hud, مَا جِئْتَنَا بِبَيِّنَةٍ وَمَا نَحْنُ بِتَارِكِ عَلِيهَتِنَا." You have not come to us with a clear evidence, with a clear proof. And we are not going to leave our gods. We're not going to leave our, idols and statues and qawlik on your saying. Just because you said it, we're not going to just leave that. Bring us a clear proof. وَمَا نَحْنُ لَكَ بِمُؤْمِنِينَ, and we're not going to believe in you. No way, never. 54. إِن نَقُولُ إِلَّا تَرَاكَ بَعْضُ عَلِيَتِنَا بِسُوءٍ. We only say that some of our gods have possessed with evil. And then قال إني أشهد الله, Hud alayhi salam said, I give witness to Allah, وأشهد أني بريء مما تشركون, and I give witness that I am free from whatever shirk you do, from whatever you associate. 55. من دونه فكيدوني جميعا ثم لا تنظرون, and then other than him, so plot against me altogether, then do not give me respite. Inni tawakkaltu ala Allah Rabbi Rabbikum, I have indeed relied upon Allah, He is my Lord and your Lord. Ma min dabbatin illa huwa akhidhu min nasiyatiha. There's not a single creation on earth except that Allah takes it by its nasiya. Nasiya means this forehead, this forelock, which is amazing that doctors have found out today, medical scientists, that there is a gland over here that is in the front, right here in the frontal lobe of the brain. Over here there's a gland here, or there's something here that really controls the whole brain. And that's what Allah is saying, that Allah is giving an expression here that your frontal lobe brain part is in my hands, in the hands of Allah, in the control of Allah, meaning nobody can go anywhere, or nobody can move an inch without Allah's permission. Nobody can do anything. So that's what He's saying, that all people of Ad, you thinking you're going in your arrogance, you can't go get anywhere, because Allah has you in check, in balance. You're like in a rein. What it means by that, Allah has got everybody by their forelock, meaning Allah has you on a leash, on a lane. When you are on a leash, when you are on a rein, you can't go anywhere. How far can you go? As far as Allah can allow you to go. Ultimately, He'll pull you back. He'll bring the leash back, the rope back in, and you're done. Inna Rabbi ala siratin mustaqim. Verily, my Lord is on a straight path. 57. فإن تولوا فقد أبلغتكم ما أرسلت به إليكم ويستخلف ربي قوما غيركم ولا تضرونه شيئا إن ربي على كل شيء حفيظ. But if they turn away, then say to them, I have already conveyed that which I have sent to you. My Lord will give succession to a people other than you, and you will not harm him. Indeed, my Lord is over all things a guardian. 58. وَلَمَّا جَاءَ أَمْرُنَا نَجَّيْنَا هُودًا وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا مَعَهُ. And then when our command, meaning the command of Allah, came, we saved Hud and the people who believed in him with our mercy, برحمة منا ونجيناهم من عذاب غليظ, and we saved them from the harsh punishment. 59. وتلك عاد جحدوا بآيات ربهم, and these are the people of Ad who argued with their Lord, وعصوا رسوله, and they disobeyed their messengers, واتبعوا ما أمر كل جبار عنيد, and they followed the order of every obstinate tyrant. 60. وأطبعوا في هذه الدنيا لعنة ويوم القيامة, and they have followed the curse on this dunya and also on the day of judgment. ألا إن عادا كفروا ربهم, verily the people of Ad have disobeyed their Lord. ألا بعدا لعاد قوم هود, and indeed they are far away, the people of Ad, from the people of Hud. وإلى ثمود أخاهم صالح, verse 61. Now Allah talks about another superpower, Samud, Qawm of Samud, that came after Qawm of Ad, one superpower after another. And to them was sent their prophet, who was one of their brethren, one of their own, Salih alayhi salam. قال يا قوم اعبدوا الله ما لكم من إله غيره. He said, "O my people, worship Allah, there is no other God besides Him. هو أنشأكم من الأرض, He is the one who created you from the earth. واستعمركم فيها, and He is the one who established you and settled you in. فاستغفروه, then seek refuge in Him, seek istighfar with Him, ثم توبوا إليه, then return to Him in tawbah. إن ربي قريب مجيب, verily my Lord is near and responsive." 62. قالوا يا صالح وقد كنا فينا مرجوا قبل هذا. They said, "Oh Saleh, you were among us a man of a promise before this," meaning before this thing about prophecy, you were a good person amongst us. أتنهانا أن نعبد ما يعبد آباؤنا, do you forbid us from worshiping what our forefathers worship? Our ancestors used to worship this. How come you are stopping us from that? And indeed we are about that to which you invite us in a doubt. We are in a very, very big doubt for you. قال يا قومي, Salih alayhi salam said, "O my people, أرأيتم إن كنت على بينة من ربي," that, "O my people, have you considered that if I should show you clear signs from my Lord, and He has given me mercy from Himself, who would protect me from Allah if I disobeyed Him? So you should not increase except in loss if you disobey me and disobey Allah." 64. وَيَا قَوْمِ هَذِهِ نَاقَةُ اللَّهِ لَكُمْ آيَةٌ, and O my people, this she-camel is a sign, miracle from Allah to you. فَذَرُوهَا, then leave it alone, meaning leave it alone to eat, and on a certain day it had to go and drink from the well. The day the naqa, the camel, will drink, they were not allowed to go and drink from that well on that day and stay away from it. They were supposed to be behind that. So and then Allah says over here, تأكل في أرض الله, it will eat from the earth of Allah, and while a camel is eating, don't go and start hurting or harming her. ولا تمسوها بسوء, and do not touch her, the camel, with a harm, meaning don't slaughter her, don't hurt her, don't poke her, don't strike her with a knife or anything. فيأخذكم عذاب قريب, if you do that, then a very big impending punishment will take you over. 65. I'm trying to go quickly, I know it's 6 o'clock. We'll try to wrap it up in another 15-20 minutes. At least we'll just finish Surah Hud, because we can't get to Surah Yusuf because we took so long. I apologize for that I went so detailed in the Nuh alayhi salam story, but I just couldn't stop myself, brothers and sisters. That story is very dear to me in my heart. When we were learning in Islamic University, we spent a whole semester on just that one portion of the story. And what I gave you today from that story is just probably 1 week of the whole 4 months that we studied that on. So verse 65, Allah says, فَأَقَرُوهَا, they slaughtered that animal, that sea camel. فَقَالَ تَمَتَّعُوا فِي دَارِكُمْ ثَلَاثَ أَيَّامٍ. Then Salih alayhi said, "Go in your homes and enjoy yourselves for 3 days, because the promise of Allah is coming after 3 days," meaning the punishment of Allah is going to come. 3 days they were given to go and stay at home. 66. فَلَمَّا جَاءَ أَمْرُنَا نَجَّيْنَا صَالِحًا وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا مَعَهُ بِرَحْمَةٍ مِنَّا. And then when our command, meaning our punishment, came, we saved Salih alayhi salam and those who believed him. We saved them with our mercy. وَمِنْ خِزْيِ يَوْمَئِذٍ, and we saved them from the humiliation of that day. إِنَّ رَبَّكَ هُوَ الْقَوِيُّ الْعَزِيزُ, verily your Lord is qawi, mighty and exalted. 67. وأخذ الذين ظلموا الصيحة فأصبحوا في ديارهم جاثمين. And then a big storming sound, a big screeching sound, shriek sound came to them, a sayha, that refers to that thundering sound. It was a big loud sound. That was the azab that was given to the Qawm of Samud, and they were all dead in their homes, corpses lying down. كأن لم يغنوا فيها, as if they were never, they were lying down dead as if they never lived in this land. This is a superpower that gone down. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling the Quraysh who are listening to these ayat in Mecca, this is Makki Surah, Allah is saying, "O people of Quraysh, Allah has given you authority, made you a power. You are the rulers of Mecca, you are the rulers of Kaaba. So look what happened to Thamud. If Allah can do this to Thamud, He can get rid of you in a second. So come to your senses, come and believe to Muhammad sallam. Ala inna Samuda kafar rabbahum." Verily Samud, denied and rejected their Lord. Ala ba'dan li Samud. Indeed, Samud are very far, far away and gone and lost. You don't find any remnants of them today. 69. وَلَقَدْ جَاءَتْ رُسُلُنَا إِبْرَاهِيمَ بِالْبُشْرَى. And now Allah SWT talks about Ibrahim alayhi salam and his story over here. Very amazing. Another very amazing story. Story after story in this surah is so powerful that we just need a whole month just for that. Imagine in 2 hours, you can't summarize all of that. 69, Allah says, وَلَقَدْ جَاءَ رُسُلُنَا إِبْرَاهِيمَ بِالْبُشْرَى وَقَالُوا سَلَامًا. And then our messengers, meaning Jibreel alayhi salam and Mikael alayhi salam, came to Ibrahim alayhi salam. They said, "Salamun alaykum." They said, peace be upon you, Ibrahim. قال سلام. He said, okay, وعليكم السلام الله يا جبريل and Mikael. فما لبث أن جاء بإذن حنيز. And then they did not even sit down properly. That before that, Ibrahim alayhi salam quickly went and brought a small calf to offer them for food. Like this shows you the hospitality of Ibrahim alayhi salam. Ibrahim alayhi salam was so hospitable that he didn't even ask these guests, angels in the form of human beings. He didn't even ask his guests, how are you? How do you think? He says, just wait a second, I'll be just back. I'll be right back. He went and got cooked food and brought, and he said, here, take some food. It's a hint for all of us that hospitality of Ibrahim Islam was so high, how we should be also being the followers of Ibrahim Islam also, and being the proper followers of Muhammad through of Ibrahim Islam also through him. Verse 70, فَلَمَّا رَأَى أَيْدِيَهُمْ لَا تَصِلُ إِلَيْهِ نَكِرَهُمْ وَأَوْجَسَ مِنْهُ خِيفَةً. And then when he offered the food and he saw that these people and the two angels in the form of human being, they're not eating food, they're not extending. لَا تَصِلُ أَيْدِيَهُمْ. Their hands are not going towards the food. And they are staying away from it. So he got very apprehensive. He got very, worried what's going on. قالوا لا تخف إنا أرسلنا إلى قوم لوط. They said, don't worry, O Ibrahim, we have been sent as messengers to Prophet Lut alayhi salam. And Lut alayhi salam was the nephew of Ibrahim alayhi salam. He was the son of his brother. So that's why he knew about Lut alayhi salam being a prophet. وَامْرَأَتُهُ قَائِمَةً. And then the wife of Ibrahim alayhi salam was standing over there, and she began smiling or laughing, فَبَشَّرْنَا بِإِسْحَاقَ. And she's laughed or smiled because the angels who were in the form of human being, they gave the good news to Ibrahim Islam here at this gathering in front of their food. They said, you are going to be getting a son, Ishaq. وَمِنْ وَرَاءِ إِسْحَاقَ يَعْقُوب. And after Ishaq is Yaqub. This ayah tells us that Ismail Islam was the first son of Ibrahim Islam, and he was the one who was ordained to be sacrificed, not Ishaq. Ishaq was given to Sarah here now at this incident. Verse 72, قالت يا ويلتى أألد وأنا عجوز وهذا بعلي شيخا. Then the wife of Ibrahim alayhi salam, Sarah, she said, what? She was like surprised, stunned. What? How can I give birth? Woe be to me. How can I give birth? And I am ajuz, I'm old. I'm an old woman. How can I give birth? And my husband here, he's also very old. إن هذا لشيء عجيب. This is something very, very amazing, ajib, unheard of. The angels in the form of human being who were there sitting, they said, قالوا أتعجبين من أمر الله. O wife of Abraham, Sarah, are you doubting from the order of Allah? I mean, are you amazed and stunned from the order of Allah? Allah can do anything. This is nothing for Allah. Every impossible is possible for Allah. Yeah, it's impossible for you as a human being. But rahmatullahi barakatuh, may the mercy of Allah and His blessings be upon you, Ahlul Bayt, O people of the house. Literally, Ahlul Bayt means people of house. But this was a khitab, a title given to the Ibrahim al-Islam. He was known as Ahlul Bayt. And in the Ahlul Bayt of Ibrahim al-Islam is Muhammad sallallahu also. And that's why the family of Muhammad sallallahu, the Ahlul Bayt of Muhammad sallallahu, is also from the progeny of Ibrahim al-Islam through Ismail al-Islam. Innahu Hamidun Majid, verily he is praiseworthy and honorable. Verse 74, فَلَمَّا ذَهَبَ عَنْ إِبْرَاهِيمَ الرَّوْءُ. And when the fright and scare from Ibrahim went away, and the good tidings reached him, يجادلنا في قوم Lut. Then he began arguing with us about Prophet Lut. Ibrahim as-salam was very, very, kind-hearted, very gentle, very generous, very soft-hearted, very, very, very delicate, sentimental. And he began asking these angels, why are you going to Lut? Don't punish all this and that. What's going on? So Allah was saying that, basically Ibrahim was not arguing those two angels. He was arguing Allah. Yujadiluna. He's asking Allah, why are you sending? The tenderness of Ibrahim Islam is what Allah is mentioning here. And then next verse Allah says about Ibrahim Islam, Inna Ibrahim, verily Ibrahim Islam is Halim, forbearing, awah, very delicate. The word awah, some people they translate as grieving, but no, it's awah meaning he's empathizing. He's an empathizer. He quickly senses people's problems and sufferings and pain. And he's munib. He's munib. He's inclined towards Allah. He's jukao, inclined, humbled towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Munib is literally somebody who's always bowing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, always inclined towards Allah is munib. These are the three sifat of Ibrahim Islam that Allah is mentioning over here and describing us over here very clearly. Ya Ibrahim, a'rid an hada. And then Allah is telling to Ibrahim Islam that, oh Ibrahim, give up this plea about Lut alayhi salam that you're saying, Innahu qad ja'a amru rabbik, verily the Lord, the command of your Lord has come to you. Wa innahum atihim adhabun ghayra mardud. And then the adhab will come to those people of Lut alayhi salam for what they have done, the homosexuality that they were engaged in. Verse 77, وَلَمَّا جَاءَتْ رُسُلُنَا لُوطًا سِيءَ بِهِمْ وَضَاقَ بِهِمْ ذَرْعًا وَقَالَ هَذَا يَوْمٌ عَصِيبٌ. And when our messengers came to them, the angels, to Lut alayhi salam, Mikael and Jibreel went to them as very beautiful males, human beings, male. And that was the purpose, to make them as beautiful human beings so that the people of Lut alayhi salam get attracted as a test for them. And then they'll be punished. And the argument will be established on them that you have done an abomination. So he was anguished for them and felt for them great discomfort. And he said, Lut alayhi salam, this is a very tough day on me and my family. You guys have come here, and my people, they're not gonna leave you alone. They're gonna come after you. They're gonna, when they want to drag you and love you and hug you and be attracted to you because you're so handsome and attractive. 78, وَجَاءَهُ قَوْمُ يُهْرَعُونَ إِلَيْهِ وَمِنْ قَبْلُ كَانُوا يَعْمَلُونَ السَّيِّئَاتِ. And then the people of Lut came running, rushing. The news traveled like wildfire jungle that, oh, there are two very beautiful, handsome men in the house of Lut. So they all gathered outside his house. Just imagine there's a house of Lut alayhi salam, and the two men as angels are there, and everybody's out there, and they're saying the door is locked, and they're beating, and I say, bring them out. We want, send us those two men. Subhanallah. قال يا قوم هؤلاء بناتهن أطهر لكم. Lut alayhi salam is still trying to give them da'wah and make sense to them and say, look, they are my daughters. This here refers to not just his own daughters, but he's referring to the female in his community, in his society, that these are my daughters. Every prophet is like a father figure. So he's saying, why don't you go to my daughters? Why don't you go to the women? Why are you coming for the men, O people? فَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ وَلَا تَغْزُونِي فِي ضَيْفِي. Oh, my people, fear Allah and do not disgrace me with my guests. These are my guests. How can you do such a thing with guests? أَلَيْسَ مِنْكُمْ رَجُلٌ رَشِيدٌ. Isn't there one sensible person? Rajul means man. Rashid means someone who's sensible, aqil, reasonable person. Meaning you are, in other words, he's saying, Lut alayhi salam saying, you people are very nonsensical. You're illogical. What are you talking about? Have you lost all your senses? Are you out of your mind? Don't you have at least one person amongst you who has at least some sense, baqi, left in them, that can come and listen to me what I'm trying to say? 79, Allah says, قالوا لقد علمت ما لنا في بناتك من حق وإنك لتعلم ما نريد. Subhanallah, the people of Lut alayhi salam, the homosexuals that responded to Lut alayhi salam, they're saying, you already know, Lut, what we have concerning your daughters, meaning we don't like the women. We're not attracted to women, we're attracted to men. Subhanallah, look at the audacity of the people of Lut. They're openly saying to him that, look, we don't like women, we're not attracted to women. We don't love women, we love men, we want men, وَإِنَّكَ لَتَعْلُمُ. The word here, Allah is saying that, they said to Lut alayhi salam that just visualize yourself that there's a whole big crowd in front of the house of Lut alayhi salam, and they're saying to him, Lut, you know what we want, إِنَّكَ لَتَعْلَمُ مَا نُرِيدُ. We love men, we want men, we are men savvy people, and that's what makes me laugh. Like this shows you the jahala, the ignorance of the people of Lut alayhi salam. That when you are so much in your lust and desire, you're totally brainwashed. You lose your senses and you don't even realize what you're saying. And that's exactly what the people say today. The people of Lut al Islam today, I'm not naming them because, you might get into trouble nowadays because there's laws out there in every state. But you know who I'm talking about. The people of Lut exist today and they say exactly the same thing that, we don't want women. The men say we don't want women. And the women say we don't like men. We hate men. We love women. And that's exactly what the people of Lut al-Islam said. It's the same story being repeated, and that's why I'm really scared. I'm scared living here in America because there are so many of these people of Lut all over America. Everywhere it's now legal to marry the same gender. So I'm just scared that azab of Allah might come anytime to America because these people are so abundant, flooding in every state, every city, that we, the Muslims, we really should be very, very scared that anytime the azab of Allah can come. And we should ask Allah that, oh Allah, when the azab comes, save us. Don't make us from the people of these. Because here Allah saved Lut alayhi salam and his people when the azab came to them. 80, Allah says, قَالَ لَوْ أَنَّ لِي بِكُمْ قُوَّةٌ أَوْ آوِي إِلَى رُكْنٍ شَدِيدٍ. That he said, if only I had against you some power, I could take refuge in a strong support. Meaning Lut alayhi salam saying, I'm helpless, I can't help against you. They responded back, قالوا يا لوط إن رسل ربك لن يصلوا إليك. The angels, are saying to Lut alayhi salam, oh Lord, indeed we are the messenger of your Lord, therefore they will never reach you. Meaning we will protect you. Don't worry about them. They can't break into your house and get you. We will be there to protect you. Now you go from the back door. So the angel Jibreel and Mikael, who were in the form of beautiful men, they said to Lut alayhi salam, pack your bags, take your family, and go from the back door. Don't go from the front. We'll take care of these people out here. فَأَسْرِ بِأَهْلِكَ بِقِطْعٍ مِنَ اللَّيْلِ. Go with your family, ahl, in the middle of the night and quickly. وَلَا يَلْتَفِتْ. And do not turn back. Iltafa, that means to turn. Meaning don't look back to see what's happening with these people. Why? Again, another leadership principle. You are a leader. You are a prophet of Allah, Lut. You are a role model. You have to lead from the front. So when the leader has taken a decision and going in one direction, the leader never looks back, because then they will have tazabzub. Tazabzub in Arabic means that you will have resentment or disgruntlement, or you'll have some kind of perturbance that mean, did I take a right decision or not? So he's saying, don't turn back. Don't you dare move your face back. Just keep going straight. You have taken the azam. Leave us alone. We will take care of these people. وَلَا يَلْتَفِتْ مِنْكُمْ أَحَدٌ إِلَّا امْرَأَتَكَ. Don't you look back and don't you turn, except your wife. She did, then she had done the wrong thing, as is mentioned in the books of hadith. Rasulullah said that the wife was the one who spread the news in the city about the two handsome men in the house. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not spare the wife of Lut alayhi salam. She was also punished in the punishment. And these were the two prophets whose wives were also not spared. Prophet Nuh alayhi salam and Prophet Lut alayhi salam. Both their wives did not survive. إِنَّهُ مُصِيبَهَا مَا أَصَابَهُمْ. Verily she will be afflicted with what she has been afflicted with. What they have been afflicted with. Inna ma'idahum subh. Verily their appointment is the morning, right? Meaning before morning they'll be gone and done. The azab will be finished. So the azab came in overnight, in the whole night to them. Alaysa subh bi qarib. Isn't morning very near? This is a metaphoric expression. Allah is saying that after every darkness there is morning. After every night there's a morning. So if you're going through a dark phase of your life, don't worry. Morning is coming. Light is coming. It's very soon. Right now we are in this pandemic, when this corona. Yes, it's very dark. We're in confinement, lockdown, isolation. We can't go to the masajid. Yes, these days will also go through. Morning, laysa subhu bi qarib. Morning is very near. Inshallah, the morning of Eid is very very near. And inshallah, by the morning of Eid, inshallah, we will be able to pray Salatul Eid, inshallah. Verse 82, فَلَمَّا جَاءَ أَمْرُنَا جَعَلْنَا عَلِيهَا سَافِلَهَا وَأَمْطَرْنَا عَلَيْهَا حِجَارَةً مِّن سِجِّيلٍ مَنْضُورٍ. Allah is now telling what is the punishment, azab, that He sent to the people of Lut. So when our command came, then we made the highest part of the city lowest and rained upon them the stones of layered hard clay. Meaning, as the hadith tells us, Jibreel alayhi salam literally picked up the whole city of Sodom. That's the Sodom city. It came, and he picked it up and then turned it upside down and splashed it, and then the stones came down on them, raining on them, and they were stoned to death, so to speak. Musawwamatan inda Rabbik, this is marked from your Lord. وَمَا هِيَ مِنَ الظَّالِمِينَ بَعِيدٍ. And Allah's punishment is not far from the wrongdoers. 84, وَإِلَى مَدْيَنَ أَخَاهُمْ شُعَيْبًا. And to Madian we send their brother and their people, Shu'aib alayhi salam, from amongst them, who was part of them. قال يا قوم اعبدوا الله ما لكم من إله غيره. He said, "O my people, worship Allah, you have no other God besides Him. ولا تنقصوا المكيال والميزان, and do not decrease the mizan, the scale, the measurement of the scale." This is the biggest sin they were engaged in, and that's why Shuaib alayhi salam said to his people, "Don't do that. إني أراكم بخير. I see that you're very good people. إني أخاف عليكم, and I'm fear about on you on the azab, that muhit, that will be coming on an encompassing day, the day of judgment." 85, وَيَا قَوْمِ أَوْفُوا الْمِكْيَالَ وَالْمِيزَانَ بِالْقِسْطِ, and all my people, give full measure and give full weight to justice, and do with justice. وَلَا تَبْخَسُوا النَّاسَ أَشْيَاءَهُم, do not deprive people from what they are supposed to receive, meaning the full weightage of their goods and services. وَلَا تَعْصُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ مُفْسِدِينَ, and do not commit abuse on the earth, spreading corruption. Verse 86, بَقِيَّةُ اللَّهِ خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ إِن كُنتُم مُؤْمِنِينَ. This is the remains of the lawful remains that Allah has meant for you if you are believers, and I am only a guardian over you. قالوا يا شعيب وصلاتك تأمرك أن نترك ما يعبد آباؤنا. They said, "Oh Shuaib, do your prayers, Salah, command you to stop us from what we were worshiping with our forefathers or ancestors, أو أن نفعل في أموالنا ما نشاء?" Or do your prayers also stop us from doing what we want to do with our own wish and will in our money, in our assets and wealth? إنك لأنت حليم رشيد. Verily you are a forbearing and discerning person. 88, قال يا قوم أرأيتم إن كنت على بينة من ربي ورزقني منه رزقا حسنا وما أريد أن أخالفكم إلا ما أنهاكم عنه. He said, "O my people, have you considered if I'm a clear evidence from you, from my Lord, and He has provided me with a good provision from Him, and I do not intend to differ from you in that which I have forbidden you. I only intend to reform as much as I'm able to, and my success is not but from Allah. Upon Him I have relied, and to Him is my return." 89, وَيَا قَوْمِ لَا يَجْرِمَنَّكُمْ شِقَاقِي يُصِيبَكُم مِثْلُ مَا أَصَابَ قَوْمَ نُوحٍ وَقَوْمَ هُودٍ وَقَوْمَ صَالِحٍ وَمَا قَوْمَ لُوطٍ مِنكُم بِبَعِيدٍ. And O my people, let not your dissension from me cause you to be struck by that similar azab that was struck to the people of Nuh, people of Hud, people of Saleh, and the people of Lut are not very far away from you. You can see that. 90, وَاسْتَغْفِرُوا رَبَّكُمْ ثُمَّ تُوبُوا إِلَيْهِ, and seek forgiveness from your Lord and repent to Him. إِنَّ رَبِّي رَحِيمٌ وَدُودٌ, my Lord is very merciful and very affectionate, loving. 91, قالوا يا شعيب ما نفقه كثيرا مما تقول وإننا نراك فينا ضعيفا. O Shuaib, they said to him, "O Shuaib, we don't understand much of what you say, and indeed we consider you among us very weak. You're a very weak person." Same thing like the people of Nuh and Islam said to him also. وَلَوْلَا رَحْتُكَ لَرَجَمْنَاكَ, and if it was not for your family that is living here amongst us in our city, we would have certainly stoned you. Rajam means to stone. That is the audacity that the people of Shuaib alayhi salam had, that they said, "We will stone you to death, O Shuaib, if you don't stop giving this da'wah. وَمَا أَنْتَ عَلَيْنَا بِعَزِيزٍ, and you're not very respected and powerful amongst us. We can easily defeat you and kill you," so to speak. They're saying. 92, قال يا قومي أرحت أعزوا عليكم من الله واتخذتموه وراءكم ظهريا إن ربي بما تعملون محيط. He said, "Oh my people, indeed is my family more respected for power by you than Allah," meaning you should be respecting Allah more than respecting my family, meaning you should be believing in Him. But you put Him behind your backs, meaning you put Allah behind your backs in neglection. Indeed, my Lord is encompassing what you do. 93, ويا قوم اعملوا على مكانتكم إني عامل سوف تعلمون من يأتيه عذاب يخزيه من هو كاذب وارتقبوا فإن معكم رقيب إني معكم رقيب. And all my people, work according to your position, and I am working. You're going to know to whom will come a punishment that will disgrace him and who is a liar. So watch, indeed I am with you, a watcher waiting for the outcome. 94, وَلَمَّا جَاءَ أَمْرُنَا نَجَّيْنَا شُعَيْبًا وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا مَعَهُ. This is the sunnah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Whenever the azab is coming, before the azab, He saves His prophet and His people before that. So Allah is saying, and when our Amr came to them, نَجَّيْنَا شُعَيْبًا, we saved Shuaib and the people who believed in him, بِرَحْمَةٍ مِنَّا, from our mercy upon them. وَأَخَذَتِ الَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا, and we seized the people who did the wrongdoing. الصيحة, a big shrieking sound, big loud sound. فَأَصْبَحُوا فِي دِيَارِهِمْ جَاثِمِينَ, then they fell down on their bodies fell down on the earth like dead, but like trunks of trees fell down when a storm comes, lying dead. 95, كَأَن لَّمْ يَغْنَوْا فِيهَا, as if they never lived in that city, in that society ever, dead meat over there. أَلَا بُعْدًا لِمَدْيَنَ كَمَا بَعْدَ ثَمُودَ, and indeed the story of the people of Madian will be gone like the people of Samud, meaning no one will remember them, no one will remember their remnants ever, because they will be obliterated, annihilated from society. 96, وَلَقَدْ أَرْسَلْنَا مُوسَى بِآيَاتِنَا وَسُلْطَانٍ مُبِينٍ. And now Allah talks about Musa alayhi salam, similar story that is mentioned before, so we'll just go very quickly over this and end up. And when indeed we sent Musa alayhi salam with clear signs and authority, إِلَى فِرْعَوْنَ وَمَلَئِهِ, to Fir'aun and his establishment, but they followed the command of Pharaoh, and the command of Pharaoh was not at all discerning. 98 يقدم قومهم يوم القيامة فأوردهم النار وبئس الورد المورود. He will precede his people on the day of resurrection and lead them into fire, and wretch is the place to which he will lead them to the fire. 99 وأتبع في هذه لعنة ويوم القيامة, and he followed in this world a curse and on the day of resurrection also, and wretch is the gift that was given to him. 100 ذلك من أنباء القرى نقص عليك منها قائم وحصيد. That is the news from the cities that we relate to you, Muhammad sallam, so that some of them are standing and some of them are harvest down. 101 وما ظلمناهم ولكن ظلموا أنفسهم. We did not wrong them, but they themselves wronged themselves, and they were not availed at all by their gods which they invoked other than Allah, and when there came to them the command of your Lord, and it did not increase them other than in their own ruin. 102 وكذلك أخذ ربك إذا أخذ القرى وهي ظالمة وإن أخذه عليم شديد. And this is how the seizure of your Lord is when he seizes the cities while they're committing wrong. Indeed, his seizure is painful and severe. 103 إن في ذلك لآية لمن خاف عذاب الآخرة. Indeed, in this there is a sign for those who fear the punishment of their Lord. That is a day for which people will be collected, and that is a day that they will be witnessing. Number 104 وما نؤخر إلا لأجل معدود, and we do not delay that azab except for a limited term. 105 the day it comes, no soul will speak except by the permission of Allah, and among them will be the rich and the prosperous. 106 فأما الذين شقوا ففي النار لهم فيها زفير وشهيق. And those who were wretched people and destined to be wretched, they'll be in the fire. For them therein there is violent exhaling and inhaling going on. خالدين فيها ما دامت السماوات والأرض. They will be living there forever ever, as long as the heavens and earth are enduring, except what your Lord should will. Indeed, your Lord is an effector of all what he intends. 108 وَأَمَّا الَّذِينَ صُعِدُوا فَفِي الْجَنَّةِ خَالِدِينَ فِيهَا. Now the people of Jannah's story is mentioned, Allah standing, and also for those people who are destined to be prosperous and be in paradise, abiding therein as long as the heavens and the earth endure, except what your Lord should will have bestowed and interrupted. 109 فَلَا تَكُ فِي مِرْيَةٍ مِمَّا يَعْبُدُ هَؤُلَاءِ. So do not be in doubt, O Muhammad, as to what these polytheists are worshipping. They worship nothing except as their fathers worshipped before, and indeed we will give them their share punishment. 110 وَلَقَدْ آتَيْنَا مُوسَى الْكِتَابَ فَاخْتَلَفَ فِيهِ. And we gave Musa the books, certainly, and they disputed amongst them with him. وَلَوْلَا كَلِمَةٌ سَبَقَتْ مِنْ رَبِّكَ لَقُضِيَ بَيْنَهُمْ وَإِنَّهُمْ لَفِي شَكٍّ مِنْهُ مُرِيبٍ. And if it was not for a word that proceeded from your Lord, it would have been a judge between them, and indeed they are concerning the Quran in quite doubt. Number 111 وَإِنَّ كُلًّا لَمَّا يُوَفِّيَنَّهُمْ رَبُّكَ أَعْمَالَهُمْ إِنَّهُ بِمَا يَعْمَلُونَ خَبِيرٌ. And indeed each of the believers and the disbelievers of your Lord will fully be compensated from their deeds, and indeed he's acquainted of what they do. فَاسْتَقِمْ كَمَا أُمِرْتَ وَمَنْ تَابَ مَعَكَ وَلَا تَطْغَوْا إِنَّهُ بِمَا تَعْمَلُونَ بَصِيرٌ. So remain on a right course, be firm on the path of Surat al-Mustaqim that you've been commanded, and those who have turned back with you and do not transgress, indeed he is seeing what you do. Number 113 and do not incline toward those who do wrong, lest you be touched by the fire, and you would not have other than Allah any protectors, then you would not be helped. وَأَقِمْ صَلَاةَ طَرْفَ النَّهَارِ وَزُلَفًا مِنَ اللَّيْلِ. 114, this is about salah. People say, how do you know there are 5 times prayer? This is one of the ayah that Allah subhanahu tells us that there are 5 times prayer. Allah is saying an established prayer. أَقِمِ الصَّلَاةَ طَرْفَ النَّهَارِ وَزُلَفًا مِنَ اللَّيْلِ. Established prayer throughout the day and throughout the night. That's why we have 5 prayers. We have 2 of them coming in the day, 3 of them at night. So the whole 24 hours covered in that. Innal hasanat yudhibna sayyi'at. Verily the good deeds wipe away the bad deeds. Here hasanat refers to sadaqat, meaning your sadaqah, your charity that you give removes the sins. Every time we give any amount, any donation, it removes the sins from our mizan. ذَلِكَ ذِكْرَ لِلذَّاكِرِينَ. That is a reminder for those who remember. 115 وَاصْبِرْ فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُضِيعُ أَجْرَ الْمُحْسِنِينَ. So be patient, O Muhammad. Verily Allah does not allow the reward to be lost for those who do good. Now 116. So why were they not among the generations before you those of enduring discrimination, forbidding corruption on earth, except a few of those we saved from among them? But those who wronged pursued what luxury they were given therein, they were criminals. 117. And your Lord would not have destroyed the cities unjustly while there were people in them reforming over there, meaning doing righteous things. So as long as there are good people in a society, Allah will not punish them. But when they move, then Allah starts punishing them. 118. وَلَوْ شَاءَ رَبُّكَ لَجَعَلَ النَّاسَ أُمَّةً وَاحِدَةً. If Allah wanted, He would have made the whole humanity one ummah. وَلَا يَزَالُونَ مُخْتَلِفِينَ. But they will have ceased to differ amongst them. But this is a test from Allah that He has given them the test to believe or not believe. إِلَّا مَنْ رَحِمَ رَبُّكَ. Except those on whom Allah has His mercy. وَلِذَلِكَ خَلَقَهُمْ. And for that He created them. وَتَمَّتْ كَلِمَةُ رَبِّكَ لَأَمْلَأَنَّ جَهَنَّمَ مِنَ الْجِنَّةِ وَالنَّاسِ. And indeed established is the word of your Lord that he has fulfilled, that he will surely fill hellfire with jinn and men, all of them. 120 وكل نقص عليك من أنباء الرسل ما نصبت به فؤادك وجاءك في هذه الحق وموعظة ذكر المؤمنين. And each of the stories of the previous prophets and people that we told you, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, from the news of the messenger, is that because we want to make your heart firm, thabit on it, and there has come to you in this the truth and an instruction and reminder for the believers. وقل للذين لا يؤمنون اعملوا ما كانتكم إن عاملون, and say to those who do disbelieve, those who do not believe, say to them, work according to your position. Indeed, we are also working according to our position, meaning we're working towards our destination Jannah, and you're working towards your destination Jahannam. 122 وانتظروا إن منتظرون, and wait, and we are also waiting to see what's the result on the day of judgment. Last ayah of Surah Hud, alhamdulillah, 123. ولله غيب السماوات والأرض وإليه يرجع الأمر كله فاعبده وتوكل عليه وما ربك بغافل عما تعملون. And to Allah belong the unseen aspects of the heavens and the earth, and to Him also will be returned all the matters and affairs of it. So worship Him and rely upon Him, and your Lord is not aware of that which you do. Jazakallahu khairan for your patience, or for sticking around till this late. Inshallah, tomorrow we'll continue at 4 o'clock from Surah Yusuf. We're just a little bit behind, but inshallah we'll catch up tomorrow with Surah Yusuf, Surah number 12, and it'll be with 13 juz. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.